Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world. Pull up a chair. It's time to get down to the business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And on tonight's broadcast of The Business, what I want to discuss here, we're going to do things a little bit differently because this week, what I want to do is I'm going to do a series of programs this week. They're going to be different from what you're accustomed to. What you're accustomed to is me just speaking about my philosophies, speaking about the things that I've learned so I can pass it on to you. The whole purpose of the business was for the purposes of being able to disseminate to other people the fundamental truths I've learned. These are not things I'm guessing about. This is actionable. And you know it's actionable because I do what absolutely nobody else. I am the only one, period, in media who does what I do. If I talk to somebody and tell them this is what to do, I tell them, call me back. I give a public number so that you can call me back. And you can tell people if what you heard is reliable. I've never once had anybody say it was wrong, it wasn't reliable, it didn't work, it wasn't correct. That puts me in a field by myself. But there are people out there, quite frankly, who are utilizing what they get here. And by the way, everybody does it. Black, white, your so-called MGTOW, red pill, manosphere, all of them got the game here. And what they've done is they've gone to other places and reworded it and reworked it. They tried to create their own phraseology to try to make it seem like, oh, I got my little twist on it. But all you've done is a little twist on it. You haven't laid the foundation. You took the house and you painted it brown. It was beige. You've painted it brown. But you haven't created this. And in your attempts, and I know niggas got to eat. I know they got to eat. And that's okay. I know that. And what happens is that you have a situation where, yeah, I know, you got to eat, but at the same time, you're distorting what you were given. And I'm going to set that, we're going to be setting that straight this week because I want it to be clear. I just wanted to be clear where I stand because I'm getting a lot of emails. I get a lot of messages. I get a lot of those kind of things. And it's I feel it's necessary for me to go ahead and do that. So this week, I'm going to be addressing that. And yes, I'm gonna name names. If you saw my previous videos here, I talked about Rolla Tomasi, Richard Cooper, but I'm gonna be talking about some of these other cats that you all know. I'm gonna be saying some things about that too, because a lot of folk here are trying to call manhood. A lot of you are just so clueless about what manhood is and so unaware of what it is that you all are calling manhood red pill. I guess we just different today because we just called it manhood. Standing on your own and defining your life on a man's terms. We just used to call that manhood. Now they're acting like it's some sort of superpower. It's something special. And dudes are out here monetizing on the ignorance of others. Which is the way that the world has always been, by the way. People monetize on your ignorance. Something that you should very clearly know. And they monetize on the fact that you are too intellectually lazy, or whatever the case may be, to cure your own ignorance. So they're out here making money off of it. Let me tell you something. Here's what makes me a little bit different before I get into tonight's program. What makes me different is I don't depend on YouTube for money. I'm not selling anything. I'm not doing seminars. I'm not I don't worry about YouTube's monetization. As you all know, on my big channel, on the black channel, I turned monetization off. Well, first it got disabled, and then they asked about turning it back on. I'm not interested in it. I don't censor what I say. A bunch of y'all are out here censoring your words because they don't want to say sex. They don't want to say porn. They don't want to say threesomes. They don't want to say, they can't use real language because they depend on YouTube advertising to pay their monthly rent. While they acting like they're balling out of control, you depend on YouTube advertising to pay your monthly rent. I don't need YouTube's monetization. I can sit here and spit to y'all the real. And I don't have to censor myself. Now, you all got to censor yourselves because you depend on YouTube to pay your car note, your bills, or whatever. I don't have to do that. And what I'm saying is you can't serve the so-called manosphere, which is really, in my mind, a weenie sphere, but anyway. How are you going to serve them and you have to censor yourself? Yeah, you don't have to necessarily use four-letter language, but you're censoring yourself. So you guys are sitting up here. It's very, very clear that you're doing this because you need to make some money. And I ain't dissing you for that. I'm not dissing you for that. But what I am saying is you're not in my league. You're not in my league, and you need to earn the right to try to tell people you're going to be an authority on something, because furthermore, it's highly misleading. What you're giving people isn't even authoritative, by the way. So this week, oh yes, I am going to be naming names. I'm going to go into it. We don't do code speak here. We don't do code speak. We do grown folk speak. We don't do code speak. Now, the rest of you, you're going to have to show that you have respect for this. The rest of you are going to have to demonstrate you got respect for this. Whole bunch of folks talking about alpha males, high value, manosphere, MGTOW, red pill. Whole bunch of folks using what I gave them, using what I laid down. They're taking the specific elements that I codified and solidified, but you're not given the game. And I'm not hating on nobody eating. I'm not hating on it. But what I want you to understand is you're misleading the people. So if you're going to take what I made and mislead people, then it's incumbent upon me to set the record straight. I must do this. No hate, no shade, no shots fired. Let me be very clear to all parties involved. No hate, no shade, no shots fired. You trying to fake it till you make it. You trying to fake it till you make it. All of you. I'm not even pointing the finger at any one person. All you niggas, all of y'all are trying to fake it until you make it. I got a challenge for you. Turn your monetization off. I got a challenge for you. If you really got it like that and you making money offline like that, do what I've done. Turn your monetization off. Don't solicit people for money. If you're on my level and you really about that life and you're on my level with it, turn your monetization off. Do what I do. Use the full language. Turn your monetization off, or leave your monetization on and just say it like it is. If you're real about that, if you got the money like that, if you're legit like that, if you're really legit, then all you got to do is get out here and do what I've done. That's all you got to do. So there's a bunch of you out here faking it. I don't rely on people sitting up here funding it for me. I got stuff going on in the real world, so I don't have to worry about YouTube's monetization or lack thereof. Don't bother me. Can you say the same thing? If you can, don't talk about it, be about it. Just prove it. And just turn them off. If you don't sit up here and tell people that you holding and you ain't showing it, at the very least turn the monetization off and just keep it 100 and real across the board. But that ain't gonna happen. Now, is it? Because YouTube is a place where broke people come to pretend they got it, and unfortunately most of the general public doesn't really have the ability to decipher that. You got a bunch of these white YouTube red pillars. They've taken what I've given them. They've taken the game and they've extracted the vital nutrients from it and then injected it with their white supremacist ideology and whatnot. And most of them are fakers too, by the way. Let me just keep this real with you right quick. Rich Cooper, you got a very good alt-right look about you, but as far as business is concerned, I don't know, in my world, I don't know anybody in my peer group making more than $300,000, $400,000 who has time to solicit people for $100 an hour to talk to them. It would, if you were really making that kind of money, it would be a hit to your income to stop and talk to somebody for $100 an hour. I ain't got time like that. That's the other thing right there. You dudes got time to talk to people during a day for $100, $200 an hour. I can't afford to stop what I'm doing long enough to talk to somebody for $100 to $200 an hour. But then again, I don't have a used Audi R8 either. And you all can go up and down YouTube and take a look at all the videos of people who've gotten R8s from wrecking yards and everything else. People, if you are impressed at seeing, I already gave y'all the game about those German luxury cars, those German exotics and semi-exotics, the Audi R8, the Mercedes S-Class, the BMW 7 Series, the Bentley previous generation, all these cars that are, for a decade have had the same look, so people can't tell whether your car is 2 years old or 8 years old. Whole bunch of folk out there doing that, flossing, and it is what it is. But I just wanted to say, you're not impressing me by showing an Audi R8. That doesn't impress me. That's going to impress people who don't know, but it's not going to impress me. One trip to Auto Trader will debunk that. If I'm lying, all they got to do is go ahead and sit up here and show it. Turn off your monetization. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not going to be there. Simple as that. So this week, I'm going to be doing something that I don't usually do. And no, I'm not going to sit here and boost your views. I'm not going to boost your views forever. Some of y'all love to see a beef because it helps boost your views. First of all, I don't have the ability to show up on a consistent enough basis to boost your damn views. So don't look for me to start a beef to boost your views. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But just understand that I get it. I'm not even mad at you for it. If there's some simps out there who didn't grow up with a daddy and they need somebody to validate them, I ain't hating on you. I ain't hating on you. Look, a fool and his money never should have been together in the first place. So I'm not hating on y'all. If these folks are gullible enough to pay you for something that is free, all right, fine. You know, look, they were too dumb anyway. They don't need the money. Clearly, they don't need it. But where I stand and what's my position and how I feel about how you guys are bastardizing what I created, how I feel about how you're bastardizing the principles that I laid out, because yours aren't actionable. Rollo Tomasi is still tweaking his philosophy to this day, and since I came out with the business, he started changing it up. You're starting to hear people use the phrases that I use, the specific phrases that I coined. You're starting to see them use those or try to put their own little spin on it. They're trying to do that now, and I'm not upset about that. What I am saying, though, is that I'm not going to sit back while you bastardize what I created. I'm not going to just sit back idly. People have been wondering, Jason, do you got thoughts about this? Hell yeah, I got thoughts about this. Yeah, I got thoughts about this. So that's where we going with it. So this week, if y'all like the business, you gonna love it this week, because I'm gonna be back tomorrow night and the night after that and the night after that. And we gonna deal with these things in depth. But by the way, it would be nice if the general public were scrutinizing and were holding these people's feet to the fire. It's one thing for me to sit up here and say it. Y'all have to hold them to the fire and say, hey, wait a minute, this is what's real and this was fake. So y'all know where you got the game from. And I know you all have been flooding me with emails about, hey, TBA, this cat over here is saying exactly what you've been saying on the business now for a year. These guys over here are using your phrases from the business and trying to make it seem like they've come up with something novel. And they're not mentioning your name. None of these people, none of them are mentioning your name. Well, that's okay. I have no ego to inflate or offend. But if you're bastardizing my teachings, I got to come back and set that straight. Because none of you have put up a public phone number and invited the people that you are giving advice to call you back publicly and report back to people whether or not what you told them is accurate or not. That whether or not they were actually able to use it. None of you, not a one of you who have stolen my phrases, stolen my principles, stolen the talking points, stolen the lessons, none of you have invited the people you've talked to call you back and report in and critique you on what you said. You see, in the world I come from, you get checked on that. It costs you real money. It don't cost you $100. In the world I come from, unreliable information, unreliable advice, it costs you way more than $100. I just need to get that off my chest. Y'all know me. I don't rant on people that much. I had to get that off my chest for a minute. Had to get off. But rest assured, everybody's gonna get the business this week. And yes, I'm gonna name names. And after that, do with it what you gonna do with it. Unfortunately for you, I ain't got time like that. On tonight's program of The Business, we are going to discuss what women can't live without, and I need all you cats who call yourself Red Pill and MGTOW, all you dudes with your programs who've been eating off me all this time, I need you to get your spoons and your forks together, cause I know you're gonna be scheming on the next nigga's plate. So I need you to get your spoons and your forks. You've been eating off me all this time. It's time to serve you up another helping of the business. Time to serve you up another helping of the business, so that now these new teachings I'm about to lay down, they will find their way into your new videos, I imagine. It'll find their way there too. So hopefully you'll soak up the game a little bit better this time. I'm sure tonight's broadcast and what I'm about to say is going to find its way into your new stuff as well. Because what y'all are laying down is just straight stale. I was hearing something here and I felt it was incumbent upon me to speak about it here, and I want to talk about what it is that women can't live without. And these other dudes out here, they got it all wrong. They don't understand it. They don't understand it. People, I'm talking about science. I'm not talking about gossip that you spread with other people. I seen what was happening. I took this as a case study that I felt really needed to be done here. Joe Budden, a man who has turned his life around in the last 10 years. He had a hit song as a rapper, had a little bit of notoriety. He was with Eminem's record label. I think it was Slaughterhouse. He's with Eminem and got off on some drugs and stuff. He got clean. And the past is letting them know We ain't gonna let that go. He's made a name for himself. He's making millions of dollars at something other than rap. He's diversified himself. He's doing good for himself. But there's a lesson that he needed to remember. You got to learn, people, where there's successful people, there are wannabe successful haters. Nothing is going to bring out your critics more than succeeding. And unfortunately for Joe, and this is the lesson I want y'all to learn, so many of these guys are trying to teach you all how to chase women. I said from the very beginning, that's stupid, that's childish. We're adults over here. I don't do male-female quote relation. I don't do dating advice. I can't stand the idea. All these channels do with their dating advice. Do you want to date? Do you want to marry? I don't discuss that. Let me go ahead. Let me back this up here for just a moment here. I want to lay this down. I don't do dating advice. You all have known I never set up the business for dating advice. I do power dynamics. I do male-female power dynamics. I don't give a damn about dating. I'm only slightly more concerned about marriage if you gonna be engaging with people, but I'm not here to tutor you or mentor you on that. I'm not here for that. I'm not interested in that. Go find somebody else to sit here and jerk your chain about dating and marriage. Stuff that they don't even know. Because you can't quantify it. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. How can someone promise you in a week that they're going to give you something that will last a lifetime? What I offer you will last a lifetime. You will be able to use it and continue using it. It will be there. Not it might be. It will be there. These other folk don't know anything about power. So if me discussing male-female relationships from a power dynamic perspective makes you uncomfortable, then so be it. I'm not here to talk about dating. I'm here to talk about power dynamics in finance, in male-female relations, at your job, in politics. I deal with power dynamics, not dating. Where these other folk at? Holla. If you can. Joe has found out the hard way here that when you are successful and you leave people behind, when you focus on yourself and improving yourself, that is what attracts the things that you want. You need to attract the things you desire, not chase the things you desire. Their tongues in the knots trying to avoid that phraseology, because I created that phraseology too, by the way. You should not chase the things you want. You should attract the things you want. Attract the things you desire. Don't chase the things you desire. So I'm taking a look at Joe, and things are going good right now. And lo and behold, his ex Tahiri, well, things ain't going as well for her. Things are not going as well for her. And she's upset. And out of nowhere in an interview, she brings up, now yeah, Joe was dating her like a decade ago. Out of nowhere though, she comes up and she implies that something that another guy did to her. She does an interview here with some fellow who acted like he was cool with Joe and really ain't. Does an interview with this guy and what about Joe, so we can drag his name through the mud with false allegations. Because you got to understand something, people, when you winning and the folks around you ain't, they ain't got nothing to lose. Lying doesn't hurt them because they have nothing to lose. They already lost it all. Tahiri already lost it all. She already lost it all when Joe left. She just didn't realize it yet. Now she's got seller's remorse. But you already lost that. So what I want to do here, because Joe actually responded to this. He actually responded to this, and what I want to do is I want to play for you the audio of it so that you understand. This is a case I want you all to understand. For those of you who got exes, and by the way, male, female, though this is really for the men, but for the ladies, I'm sure a lot of you can identify with some of this we're about to lay down for you. But especially to the guys, if you had a baby mama out there, you was in your struggle years and she didn't act right, or y'all didn't work out or whatever, and she cheated on you, she ran you around on you, she took you to child support court, whatever, and then you turned things around, you got the bag, you got straight, and now she's sitting out here all dirty and struggling and looking all ragged out. Can you testify? If you got an ex who jumped out the car while the car was still rolling, she figured you was going to roll to a halt and that the engine was dead, and she didn't realize that, baby, you don't need wheels when you got wings. Fellas, have you ever had a chick who your car was rolling around and the engine went out and she said, oh hell, you about to roll to a halt, I'm jumping out the car, and she didn't realize that when you got wings, you don't need wheels. She also didn't understand that you knew how to fix the engine while the car was still moving. She figured you had to go to Firestone. She didn't know you could fix the engine while the car is still moving. Then she saw that car flying over her head. What the hell is that? That looks like that damn car you was driving. Flying. In the chat room, that is incorrect. There are people out there giving out numbers that are incorrect. I'm going to deal with that as well. I'm going to deal with everything. That number is highly incorrect, highly specious. Now, I ain't selling nothing. Let's go ahead and get into it.
What was alleged here? Let me start with, this young lady is a liar, a cancerous, toxic liar. I'm uncertain why she's lying this way. I'm not certain if she is misspeaking, if she has a false recollection of things. I'm not sure what it is, but she said some things that didn't sit right with my soul, and I'm here to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Young lady, we were toxic. We're talking about 24 and 25-year-old Joe, 25-year-old, 26-year-old you. We were toxic to each other. And I'm glad that the climate has changed and we are able to have some conversations today that we couldn't have back then. Yeah. Because today I'm very comfortable saying you were abusive. You used to beat my ass. You threw shit. You hit me. You kicked me. You did a whole bunch of shit that's not normal for a man to speak out about because it makes you appear less manly. Mm-hmm. But that was a really, really toxic situation.
All right, first thing I want to point out here, Joe, the first thing he did right was he didn't apologize. He didn't apologize. You see, you're sitting up here begging for sympathy and it don't get you nothing. He didn't apologize. Because power does not respect weakness. Power respects power. Power doesn't respect weakness. Power respects power. So the first lesson I want you all to understand is he didn't apologize. And that was the right thing to do. That was exactly the right thing to do. Period. Then that's a new skill for you all to learn. You need to set the tone. This is a matter of being able to say what you got to say and being ready to take the consequences, and that you're going to set the narrative and other people aren't going to set it for you. So the first lesson I want you to learn is he didn't apologize. And that's going to make him even more mad, because look, when somebody is trying to break you, you don't sit there and let them break you. When a woman can't live without a man who can't be broken, why do you think she's still messing with him? These are lessons I want you to learn. A bunch of you have been set up here and taught that you need to beg your way into something. A woman doesn't respect a man who can be broken. She might sit there and, console you for a moment. But once she sees she can break you, she's not going to start having mercy. You think you're going to sit up here and give mercy? Brothers, when you start begging a woman for mercy, she doesn't get more merciful. She gets more sadistic. She doesn't get more merciful. She gets more merciless. You need to understand that about female nature. When a woman sees you start to bend, she sees it as her obligation to see, wait a minute, can I break him? Can I break him? That's where she's going to go with it. And she was trying this years ago. And he didn't break. He didn't break when he was on drugs. He didn't break when she was beating on him. She didn't break when he didn't break when she was cheating on him. He didn't break. Thought his career was over, and then he rebuilt it on his own. He didn't break. That's why she is still buzzing around him. She's still buzzing around him because she ain't met nobody since who wasn't able to be broken. So she's like, damn. She still wants that. She found other males to lay up with, but she ain't found a man who don't break. And yes, I understand Joe does have his issues, absolutely, but check the game. Our brother, Nick Cannon, found out the hard way. When you start apologizing, people don't have mercy. They sit here and rake you over the coals worse, because now they feel like they brought you down. Because that's the other thing I want you to understand. Women love a winner. Absolutely, they love a winner. But the more you win, a lot of women, they resent that. Especially if you're a man who has flexed his options. You see, when you were winning, she had to accept that. When you could flex your options. Joe was flexing his options. He tell you, I was sleeping with other women and everything else. Joe tells you that. Yeah, I was running through a whole bunch of chicks while I was with Tahiri. Soon as it looked like Joe was down, she put the boots to him, because she was like, yeah, I was eating crap with you all those years. I had to tolerate all those chicks. I had to tolerate you showing that you got options, because as a female, females are used to having all the options and all the advantages. When a man demonstrates he's got the options and he's got the advantages, and a lot of women resent that. Ladies, can y'all be honest with yourselves about that? Can you all be honest with yourselves about that? That when a man's got options, you feel some kind of way. Can we just be real about that? That you all feel some kind of way when a man's got options. You kind of resent that. And if he ever loses those options, you're like, it's payback time for all of that leverage I didn't have. Ladies, can we keep it real? Can we keep it 100? Let the rest of these ass-kissing dudes who are guessing their way through this, repeating Rollo Tomasi's flawed red pill philosophies that he's now having to update because of me. Let them go ahead and parrot the wrong, inaccurate things. I'm saying with you all have never heard that from anybody else. What I'm saying right now, you never heard it from anyone else. Because they don't know. They haven't lived it. They're trying to discuss power dynamics as a dating strategy, as opposed to power dynamics as a life strategy and a lifestyle. But they don't know, because they ain't living it and haven't seen it and have never used it. Beware of someone who tells you all you need is money and you'll be okay. Beware of someone who keeps circling back to money singularly. And we're going to get into that here as well tonight. Money is essential, but beware of the way some people try to implement that.
None of that needs to be for public consumption. Just when you go to bed tonight, ask yourself how many times you put hands on me. How many times you've pulled knives on me. How many times you've threatened me. At 25, I didn't know that was toxic.
I've been there.
I thought we was just beefing like it was normal then. But in hindsight now, yeah, that's what we was sick. Yeah. We were sick. We were sick. We were sick. And I think for both of us, right, we were reminders of each other's toxicity. And the answer for us was, the further we got away from each other would be the further that we got away from toxicity.
Well, Joe, how'd that work out? You got away from Tahiri, but toxicity has followed you. Because you got to understand, when you win and you keep winning, the only way that another person can get over you is if they start to win. A woman can't live without a winner. Are you all making notes tonight? A woman cannot live without a winner. I explained this to you all during the Tommy Lauren program when I was explaining advice to whiny women. As a man, you are practically a supernatural being. You see, when y'all talk about Superman, what is it that Superman has that regular people don't have? Oh, yeah. These other folk don't break it down like this. They've never said that to you all before. When I said that as a man, you are like a dragon to a woman. You're a status symbol like the ability to fly. You're not a status symbol like a handbag or a pair of shoes. You're a status symbol like having a dragon is a status symbol to a person. And that as a man, you're able to do things a woman cannot do. Superman can do what? He's got supernatural strength. Compared to a woman, a man has supernatural strength. Yeah, she can pick up a rubber tire, but can she pick up two tires still on their rims? Yeah, a woman might be able to pick up an alternator, but can she pick up the head on a motor? She might be able to pick up the pan on a transmission. Can she pick up the entire transmission? Back in the day when I used to work on cars, first transmission I ever learned to repair and rebuild was the General Motors 700R4. That goes in the Chevy Astro van that went in some of the full-size trucks, the 700R4. I think they changed it later to the 4L60. But the 700R4 was the first one I learned to work on. The 350 was the second. The 250 was the third. And there were older men who were there, and they used to pick up like these cherry pickers, and that's what they used to pick up the transmissions. At the time, I was 20-something years old, so I used to grab the transmissions and pick them up, deadlift them. Dry. I only picked up one that was still wet. That'll hurt you. But I could do that back then too. But they were usually dry. Picked it up, and all the way up, they were looking at me like, wow. Guess what? A woman can't do that at all. A woman cannot pick up a transmission to a car and walk around with it. She's looking at you like you're Superman. She's looking at you like you're the Incredible Hulk. She's looking at you like you're Black Panther. It's like, you can pick that up? That's something she can't do. When women watch MMA, they're watching men. Do you realize the injuries that men get at MMA? Remember Bob Sapp, he got his orbital socket busted by Mirko Cro Cop. Remember Tim Sylvia, he got his arm straight snapped in half by Frank Mir. Remember the Tim Sylvia Frank Mir fight? Frank Mir put him in that that standing arm bar and snapped Tim Sylvia's arm in half. And Tim Sylvia, Herb Dean paused the fight to stop it, and Tim Sylvia was still trying to fight. When the doctors asked Tim Sylvia what was wrong, he said, I think he was looking at my shoulder. No, he had snapped his forearm in half. Tim wanted to still fight. Alistair Overeem, remember, he got his whole front lip sliced open. His whole front lip got sliced open. Anderson Silva got his shin shattered. In the middle of a pay-per-view, got his shin shattered. And do you realize that every single one of the men I just named, all of them came back to fight again? All of them. Not some, all. All of them came back to fight again. You've never seen that happen with female fighters. If what happened to Alistair Overeem had happened to a female fighter, she'd be done. If what happened to Anderson Silva had happened to a female fighter, she'd be done. A woman's threshold for pain, talking about pregnancy. You ain't never had somebody shatter your shin. Delivering them babies is like a massage compared to getting your shin shattered. When they take a look at us and the outrageous supernatural levels of punishment that we are able to absorb, that we willingly walk into a cage, a ring, and do it over and over and over again. People, as far as she's concerned, you're not human. You're something else. You're something else. So you don't look at yourself that way. You don't see yourself the way that women see you. Tell me, when's the last time your red pill gurus and incel activists talked to you like this about being a man? By the way, that has nothing to do with money. To all of the novice students out there who've tried to steal my philosophies and teachings and reword them into your own, by the way, what I just gave you right there, that's a level of status that has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with being a bad boy. It has nothing to do with being a thug. Did you all catch that? What I just gave you has nothing to do with that. In the chat room, Ruth Brooks, I'm going to have you call in when the phone line's open. Since you have a question to ask, so my mods keep her name in mind. Since she has questions to ask when the phone line's open, I'm going to have her call in. Since she has questions, we're going to make sure her questions get answered. Remember, people, you don't ask questions in the chat room. I'm going to have a phone line that opens up. You ask questions there. You're not going to ask questions in the chat room and then hide out and troll because you feel hurt because your life ain't worked out the way you wanted it to. But brothers, that's his level of status and accomplishment. As a man, you don't see yourself the way a woman does. So when you realize that a woman sees you differently, then you also understand, oh, watch me as I bring this 720 degrees. Full circle, double circle. When a woman sees Superman fail, then she loses faith in him. Oh, did you get that? When a woman sees Superman fail, when she sees Superman get beaten, she's going to change the way she looks at you. You have to understand, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. You can pick up transmissions, you can breathe fire, you can do all these other things. Okay, but when a woman sees you are broken, when a woman sees that there is something that can break Superman, then her female nature is going to say, I'm vulnerable. These other folk, they can't bring it together for you like this. She's going to see he's vulnerable. And now I'm vulnerable. Understand the way that they see you. When Superman can be beaten, all a woman feels is, I'm vulnerable. So you have to understand, with great power comes great responsibility. You have got to stay on your game. No, fella, that doesn't mean that she's not solid. As a man, you have to keep her solid. You guys don't, once again, this is somebody who doesn't know. Women aren't supposed to lead. Y'all can't sit here and get mad when a woman wants to sit up here and pull a rank on you and then say, oh, she got to be solid. She needs to be a solid follower. She needs to be a solid helper. You need to be a solid leader. You need to be that. It's not her job to give you the benefit of the doubt. As a man, your responsibility is to ensure that there is no doubt. See, some of y'all ain't led nothing, so this is news. Right now, I'm giving you as a news flash. This is a news break for you. You ain't never led nothing, so you're not used to the responsibilities of leadership being firmly on your shoulders. Responsibility for leadership has to fall firmly on your shoulders, squarely on your shoulders. That is what you have, that is the cost you pay to retain leadership. You see, there's too many of y'all. See, y'all listen to your red pill gurus and fake prosperity pimps. Folks, there's two phases to life: getting to the top and staying at the top. Donald Trump had those two books, Life at the Top and Surviving at the Top. Yeah, the first struggle is to get to the top, and the second struggle is to stay at the top. Two separate phases of life. But if you haven't been taught that that's going to be your responsibility, then you get blindsided. I didn't know she's going to do that there. Baby, alpha is spelled A-L-P-H-A, not alpha like Alpo or alfalfa or the alien Alf. It is A-L-P-H-A, not A-L-F-A. Not trying to drag nobody, just saying. Consider this a grammatical assistance.
And that just doesn't appear to be the case here. I'm going to address some of this stuff that was said. You said or made it seem as though your nose was broken as a result of abuse by Joe. You were not clear in how and when and why you got your nose broken, and that Joe had absolutely nothing to do with that. You are a cancerous, toxic, clout check chasing liar.
This is one of the things that infuriates men most about women. And fellas, you gotta understand this. Women don't fight men with their fists, not as a rule. There's a lot of them who do, understood. But a woman's preferred weapon is lying. A woman is gonna go after you with words. Women go after people with words. Women try to attack your status. Women try to shame you. And when a woman needs to fight a man and physically dominate him, she's going to resort to deceit. She's going to resort to lies because she can't fist fight you. When a woman wants to punish a man, if she doesn't have a weapon that physically allows her to do it, and if she doesn't have control of the finances to allow her to do it, the only thing she's got left is what they've used for time immemorial: deceit. Deceit. I mean, the damn gloves come off. Damn that. She's gonna let you know really quickly, oh, if I can't whoop your ass with my knuckles, then I will whoop your ass with my tongue. And if there's something, if I can make up something that I can hang around your neck, I'm going to do that. Why? Because I'm losing. Women can't live without their pride. A woman's pride means everything to her. Why do you think they spend hours in front of the mirror every day? Her pride means everything. Strip her of her pride and she's lost her reason to exist. She can't live without that. She needs that. And if you rob her of that, she is going to pull out every stop. She is going to resort to every vicious tactic to get it back. And even if she can't knock you down, she's going to see if she can drag you both down together. You see, when a woman finds herself, she used to be in a good situation, now she finds herself on the outside looking in. As far as she's concerned, damn it, if I can't have it, neither of us will. Neither of us will. A woman can't live without her pride. Even if she tells herself that she can't live without it. Remember, brothers, to the men out there, remember, once again, all these other folks out there, I'm giving you all the plays from the playbook for you to steal so they can start seeping their way into your programs. They can start all these lessons I'm about to give you about seeping your way into it. Fellas, remember what I've always taught you. Your red pill so-called MGTOW manosphere activists, they didn't know any of this what I'm about to say. When a woman opens her legs to you, in her mind, she is putting a down payment on a marriage. You see, they told you that she's when a woman has sex, she thinks that's a relationship. I'm giving you the real game. When a woman has had sex with you long enough, if she's been having sex with you for a year or two, in her mind, opening her legs to you for a year or two, that's supposed to be a down payment on a marriage. As far as she's concerned, if I've been opening my legs to you for 2 or 3 years, that 2 or 3 years is supposed to be exchanged for a house. That 2 or 3 years is supposed to be exchanged for a Bentley. That 2 or 3 years is supposed to be exchanged for a Prada purse. And you supposed to get it. Simply on the strength that I've been opening my legs to you for that long. Why? Because in her mind, sexual access has a monetary value. And she's right. It does. The problem is that most women are not very good strategists, so they usually pick the wrong horse to bet on. So they end up opening their legs to guys who don't deserve it. That's most women. Some don't, but most of them actually are not very good choosers. So it ends up going bad. They end up not getting what it was they really wanted. But when a woman's been having sex with you for years, she thinks there's a down payment on a marriage. Tahiri thought that she owned Joe simply on the strength that she was having sex with him for what? She was his girlfriend for what, the better part of a decade? after the record deal was over and he was banished to YouTube and had to rebuild his life all over again and his fame all over again, Tahiri thought, nigga, and remember she had a video, what was that, he had a video, the longest breakup, you can look it up on YouTube, on Joe Budden TV, the longest breakup. She said in that video, if she said it once, she said it a dozen times, I ate human body waste with you. You all know me, I don't use that type of language, but she said, I ate crap with you. I'll use the word crap instead. She said it, she must have said it 6 or 7 times. I ate crap with you. And as far as she was concerned, if I was eating crap with you and opening my legs to you, nigga, I own you. I own you. On the strength that I could have been sleeping with somebody else. Nigga, I own you. How dare you think that you're gonna that you have the right to rebuild your life and leave me behind? Yeah, I'm clout chasing off of you. Yeah, I'm dragging your damn name. Nigga, I was with you when you were on the pills. I was with you when you were on the PCP, whatever other drug, cocaine, whatever other drugs you were using. I was with you all that time, and I was opening my legs to you during that time. Nigga, you owe me some clout. You owe that to me. You'll be alright. Okay, to the fellas listening to me right now, if you ever been in that situation, most of you haven't, but try to visualize it. Does that sound like what you've seen from females? Does this sound rational? Does this sound like it actually adds up? How can she sit here and say these things and be okay with it? Cause she's like, nigga, you came up and I didn't. You left me behind. Well, I was there with, I am owed this because I was there with you when you were rebuilding. And since I don't get the direct benefits of your rebuilt life, you owe me indirect benefits. So hell yeah, I'm dragging you. Because I feel like I'm owed more benefits than I've actually received. And by the way, that's not confined to Tahiri. Amber Rose has basically made a career and a life for herself attacking Kanye West. I was at the first slut walk. I was at Amber Rose's first slut walk. As you all know, I don't talk about this. I've been living this. I was at her first slut walk when I watched her get up on stage and use that opportunity in front of hundreds, it wasn't thousands, but in front of hundreds of women and moist fellas to sit up here and drag Kanye. Now, I thought this would be your slut walk, but she used that as her opportunity to drag Kanye. So she couldn't even get through her own slut walk event with the only star power she has is who she used to sleep with. And of course, over there on the right-hand side of your screen, Michelle A., who was sleeping with Dr. Dre and Suge Knight at the same time. And did that make her feel like she wasn't entitled? Hell no! Almost 30 damn years later, and Michelle A. still feels entitled. That she should still be able to eat off of Andre Young's name. Damn near 30 years later, the kids are all grown and got kids of their own, and she still feels entitled to drag him. And that's not going to end. You know why? Because things didn't get better for her and the train has left the station. She can have all the nose jobs she wants to have. There's never gonna be another Dr. Dre to wander into her life and make it what she feels she is entitled to have. That ain't gonna happen. Not happening. So yes, they are very vindictive because they feel that the fact that they were with you before you blew up entitles them to the benefits of what you had once you blew up. And that's how they rationalize to themselves. That's how they sleep at night. If you were wondering or guessing how they could do it, that is how they sleep with themselves at night. It ain't nice. It ain't pretty. They're just outright saying, you owe me. So what if I gotta drag your damn name? So what if I have to lie about you? You owe me. You took years of my life. Why, you practically raped me. How the hell is it rape when we had consensual sex? Because those were years of my life and I didn't get what I want. And if I call it rape, then people will sympathize. This is literally how they rationalize it to themselves, and they're perfectly fine with it. So just understand, you can't reason with somebody who believes they have a right to the benefits of knowing you, even though they're no longer with you. You can't reason with someone like that. Don't even try.
You called me when you got into that physical altercation with that gentleman, and he punched you in your face and your nose was broken. Why this story is coming up now and how it's related to me exactly, I'm unclear. But I can tell you what happened since your memory seems to be a bit foggy all of a sudden. I received a phone call. Yo, I'm heading to Sin City after party. We're going to turn it up. You go there, you can get in a situation with a guy, he punches you in the face. I receive a phone call. We're on our outs. I only remember this because I was out cheating at the time. I thought I was out cheating. You said you was there with me, but I thought I was out cheating at the time. Oh, I was trying to cheat.
Oh yeah, you can cheat at Sue's.
I was trying to cheat at Sue's. I was trying to get my shit off. I got a phone call. Yo, I got into some shit at Sin City. I need you. Come here. We came. I was at the hospital. Were you with me at the hospital? Mm-hmm. There's public record of this. See, and that gets me to some of these bloggers and some of these just reporters that refuse to just authenticate some shit or fact check some shit. This shit is easily searchable. But because I've been quiet during our separation and let you carry on with this front and this narrative of single Latina, I stand up to abuse, I say no, I don't need a man, I don't need a baby, I'm getting my shit popping out here. All of that's great. People that know you, we know. You have been clout / check chasing since our separation.
Good point in the chat room there. This is like when chicks have a baby. When she gets pregnant when she's out here sleeping with the block and she sat up here and slept with some dirty, grimy, semi-homeless loser who ain't got 2 pennies to rub together, but she's out sexual thrill seeking, oops, screws up and gets pregnant. Does she blame him? Does she immediately point the finger at him? No, that's not what women do. What women do is when they get run through by a bunch of dudes, they go to see if they can go find the highest value one that they were sleeping with, the most productive, the one with the most resources. And then you first try to pin the baby on him and hope that he doesn't do a DNA test. Because you understand things just got real. So if you're going to take a shot, you got to take the right one. So she's not going to go for the loser. Fellas, remember what I said, a woman can't live without a winner. She's not going to gravitate to a loser. When it is time for her to put it all down, she's going to go for a winner. You see, Rollo Tomasi and the rest of these guys defined being an alpha male or defined being red pill awareness as understanding why women have sex with a certain type of male. That's one of the big flaws in their philosophy. Because I've always told you there's actually something more important. I can show you through action. Now, I've talked about that before, and we'll get into this again. But by the way, which man is a woman more drawn to? Which man is more important to a woman? The one she has sex with, or the one who she will slit people's throats for, including the dude that she prefers to have sex with? Which one of those men is the alpha? The one that she prefers to have sex with, or the one that on command she slits throats for, including the one she prefers to have sex with? Which one of those men is the alpha? Because you see, the problem with Rollo and the red pill ignoramuses is that they've told you all that understanding female nature starts with women. Wrong. Understanding female natures doesn't start with what women want. Understanding the world starts with what you want. These guys don't know that. I know, to a bunch of y'all, this is the first time you heard it because you were told that money was the end-all be-all and sex was the end-all be-all. Tonight's the first time. For those of you who've been listening to the business now since the beginning, you already know this. To the rest of you, if you've been listening to the rest of these fly-by-night gurus, folk who want to charge you and this, that, and the darn other, and people pretending they know what an alpha male is, they're not living alpha males. They're just pretending they know what it is. They know nothing about power dynamics, and the element that's missing is what you all really want is a power dynamic. You want to have power with a female. These guys know nothing about having power. As a matter of fact, they're terrified of using that vocabulary that a man should have power with a female. These guys are scared to say those words. No wonder they don't know anything about it. They're terrified to even say the words. But then again, they should be terrified. They have no power. All they know how to do is to set up online forums and talk to other powerless people. So they become king of the pygmies. But they actually don't understand how power dynamics with women work. So you all have been misled. You've been misled about the purpose of money in a relationship. You have been misled about the purpose of power. You have been misled about what an alpha male is, because the guy that you all said wrote the book on Red Pill, The Rational Male, he don't know what an alpha male is. He's still trying to figure it out. Because he doesn't know. And I understand cognitive dissonance, and a bunch of people are going to give him a pass, even though he's even admitting now he doesn't really know what an alpha male is. He's still trying to figure it out. Tonight you heard what an alpha male is. And the definition that I gave you is across the board. No need to come back later and review it. Whoever is the most powerful, that is the alpha. Alpha is defined as power. Physical power, intellectual power, social power, psychological power, political power. That is the alpha. It transcends age. It transcends financial status. It transcends race. You never heard your so-called red pill gurus, your so-called MGTOW Canadians with their Audi R8s and their beards. You never heard any of them say this to you because they don't know. They don't know. They're still taking L's to this day. So no wonder they can't teach you, because they don't know it. Fortunately for you, you all are here to detox. You're throwing away your red pills. Get off the drugs. Put down the red pill and pick up the black book.
And it pains me to speak this way because my respect for women is too high. I've never addressed this because you shouldn't speak about women this way. Women should be allowed to feel how they want to feel, talk how they want to talk, fuck who they want to fuck, and just navigate Earth however they want, but not at the expense of the truth. So let me flat out say, the way Maul has just said, Joe Budden does not support domestic abuse at all. I also do not support the demonization of black men. We were toxic, you included, we separated, I sought help. I went through intense therapy to address whatever was revealed when you and I were together. That's okay? It's dangerous to say.
No.
And we have remained not only in touch. When the Votto situation came up and you told me about it personally before this show aired, my first reaction is the same as it was when homeboy attacked you in Sin City and punched you in the face and altered your nose, that somehow you're putting on me saying that the dude didn't like my raps. The dude didn't like my raps, so he punched you in the fucking face. Are you kidding me? That part was really unclear, but okay.
Which, by the way, is also horrible that happened to Terry,
horrible.
by the
Absolutely.
way.
Yes,
I don't want to get over that. Like,
yes.
That's a horrible thing.
Yes, it's horrible. But no, it's not okay to be unclear there, so you mislead people into thinking, oh, me and Joe had an altercation and my nose was broken. No, you should be very clear, especially with me, with these allegations when they come up. I also think it's important to note that when questioned about it, and I can't take your fucking word, we both are cheating by then, who knows what's happening. But when questioned about it, you hid the identity of that gentleman as well from your significant other who was asking about it. Hey, and then when we go through the proper channels and find out what's going on, yo, who did this? What's going on? There's witnesses everywhere. Yo, street nigga from Brooklyn. No, please don't pursue this. Don't do anything about this, please. I'm working nightlife. I don't want this to come back to my job.
Folks, let's just keep it real. A woman only calls it abuse when she don't want to be with the man. It's only abuse. It's only sexual harassment. It's only assault. It's only an insult. It's only that when she don't want to be with the dude. You can be a man married to another woman. If she works at your job, if a chick at your job wants to be with you, you can treat her however she wants to. It's not abuse if she wants to be with you. You might have a whole wife, but if she wants to be with you, when you do it, it's cool. Now, if Leroy in the mailroom tries it, then it's going to be a problem. But let's be very, very clear. And when a woman tells you that somebody supposedly hit her, did something to her, but then she don't want ramifications or consequences for it, understand, women understand that the legal system is a weapon. They understand that the legal system has been weaponized. And until men start asserting ourselves in that system to set things right, in the absence of male power, direction, and leadership, women are going to run wild and act crazy. Now, that's across the board in life. Your mama, your grandmama, your sisters, your aunt, when in the absence of actual male leadership, women are going to run wild and go crazy. A woman cannot live without strong male leadership. Women cannot live without strong male leadership. Take that away and they become aimless and directionless. They destroy your court systems. They destroy your schools. They destroy your media. People, who is it who is fueling the booty shaking and twerking today? When you ask women, they say, oh, that's what men want. Well, men also say they want a size 6 and they want a nice attitude. And the women are like, yeah, I ain't gonna do that. No, the women are fueling it because it's the shortest distance between 2 points. They don't mean that's what men want. They mean this is the easiest way for me to manipulate men to get what I want. Shaking your butt has nothing to do with what men want. This is about you as a woman getting what you want. But remember, deceit as a tool. So in the absence of actual male power and leadership, the women go crazy. The women go nuts. It descends into bedlam. It descends into chaos. Your prisons today, 7 out of 10 prisoners, every 10 prisoners were raised by a single mother. Practically none of the females in female prisons were raised by a single father. When you go to a women's prison, there's practically nobody in there raised by a single father, despite single fathers being 10% of parents. When you leave women to their own devices as a group, it descends into bedlam. They require strong male leadership to set the standard. And if you leave them alone, then what's going to happen? It's just going to be wildcatting. It's just going to be wildcatting.
That conversation was had. Somehow, it's omitted in all of this. But okay. For me, certain things about the way you move just was never indicative of love. Hence that. Painting me a certain way while I go out of my way still in separation to protect you and the lies and the bullshit you say. See, some of this stuff is pre-existing to Joe. If you have an issue defending abusers, it should be dealt with absent Joe, because Joe went and did everything he needed to do to get right. Hence the man you see before you today. Hence the man that could finally address and articulate some of these things. See, and even still with this attack, I'm not going back and forth. Not only the attack, but the attack on my birthday, nevertheless. I'm not going back and forth.
So what Joe is learning now is that when you ignore scorned people, they escalate. Remember what I said at the beginning? She got nothing to lose. So this is it right now. We're pulling out all the stops. Dude, I'm disrupting your birthday. I'm disrupting your show. I'm doing it all, man. I'm blowing everything up. This is it. Suicide bomber with the bomb vest. I'm blowing the whole damn thing up. I got nothing to lose. I'm going after you. And I'm going to keep going at you. Because there's no incentive for me to stop, and I got nothing to lose for doing it. Nothing to lose at all.
You can still expect me to be a safe place for your secrets in some of your darkest times. That's who I am today. You wouldn't know that. If you got some pain that Joe caused that we haven't addressed face to face, I apologize. See, but I think it runs a little deeper. And I think some of that shit came to play on television. I think there may be some resentment from the fact that we moved on, separated, and then Joe got right.
All right, now first of all, do understand Joe is not apologizing to her for, oh, I did bad. He's just saying, you know what? If you didn't get okay, and if you're not okay after when we split up, I'm sorry about that. If you're still dealing with some lingering effects, I'm sorry, but I really feel like the issue is you're upset because I moved on. You're really upset because when we broke up, I didn't fall apart. It didn't destroy me. It wasn't the end for me. Things got better, and meanwhile, things got so good for me, you're living off me. Fellas, there are lessons for you to learn in your life. If you want to get over, if you want to put your, here's the way in which you deal with breakups. The manner in which you deal with breakups is you have to be the dominant. When you are the person who you bring the most value to the relationship, then if the relationship ends, you are walking away with the value. The problem comes when you in your mind or your heart have transferred that. When you transfer that to somebody else, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when it becomes an issue. But when you stay firmly focused on yourself and keeping yourself straight and keeping yourself powerful, then no matter what happens with your interpersonal relationships, I ain't gonna say they won't affect you. They won't destroy you. Let me be clear about that. You'll be sad for a little bit. It'll be a bummer. It will be. You're gonna have to make some adjustments. But if you're a person who spends your life making adjustments, then you'll be better suited to make these adjustments, even the most serious ones. But if you don't see the other person as the one who brought the value to it, if you see it as, hey, wait a minute, I brought the value to this thing, then yeah, you'll be okay. And by the way, when relationships end, it becomes very clear very quickly who brought the value to it. It becomes very clear very quickly who brought the status to it. It becomes very clear very quickly who brought the benefit of even getting into the relationship. That's when you find that out. And she found out the hard way what happened when you don't have that.
To face, I apologize. See, but I think it runs a little deeper. And I think some of that shit came to play on television. I think there may be some resentment from the fact that we moved on, separated, and then Joe got right. Joe got success. Joe got engaged. Joe had a baby. Joe on his family man shit. It's pictures everywhere. No.
Now that was a low blow. Okay, I'm going to back that up so you all can hear that again. That was a bit of a low blow from Joe, but you know what? He's like, hey, if we're going to be throwing low blows in here, let me get on faux flats. If we throwing low blows. So that was a bit of a low blow. I'm going to replay that again, though.
That we haven't addressed face to face. See, but I think it runs a little deeper. And I think some of that shit came to play on television. I think there may be some resentment from the fact that we moved on, separated, and then Joe got right. Joe got success. Joe got engaged. Joe had a baby. Joe on his family man shit. It's pictures everywhere.
Oh, that was low. That was low, but Joe, that was low. I ain't mad at you, but Joe, this is when Joe is just like, you know what? You're going to take shots at me. Now I'm taking shots at you. Fellas, a woman cannot live without her prestige. And Joe was just sitting here saying, you know, I know what it is you really wanted out of life. And you're mad at me because I was able to get it and you weren't. I was able to move on. I was able to find another bad chick. And by the way, I will give that to Joe Budden. He'd keep a bad chick on deck. Now, I will give that to Joe. I've always said that about him. Fellas, that's another thing y'all need to keep in mind. Joe keep a bad broad. Joe keep a bad broad. He keep a bad broad on deck, and he makes it clear to the women he's with that he got some bad broads, you know, on backup. He's got bad broads on backup. So I do want to say it right there. I've always given him props. He keep a bad chick on deck. I'll give him that. But you also got to understand, he's letting her know, baby, I could replace you. You thought you were going to leave and that nobody else was going to fool with me or whatever. I swapped you out. You made a bad bet. You made a bad bet. You bet wrong. You wanted a baby. You couldn't get it. You wanted to be married. You couldn't get it. You wanted to have the house, and he said that on purpose, with the pictures. Brothers, listen to me. Fellas, pictures in a house are how a woman claims her territory. A woman considers a house to be a shrine to her. When you open the doors to the house, she wants, the reason women want big houses, and I truly believe that women are the originators of religion, because I think dealing with death is more difficult for women, so they created religions for the idea of an afterlife. But women want their house to be like a church. They want a big one. They want the doorways to be ornate. They want the nice glass on the doors and stuff. They want their homes patterned after houses of worship. And when you open the big oak doors to her house of worship, she wants you to see her. She wants you to see the couch that she chose. She wants you to see the lamps that she picked out. She wants you to see the decor that she selected. She wants you, fellas, if you don't believe that a woman sees a house as a mythical object, take her ass to the lighting department at Lowe's. You have never in your life been able to walk a woman through the lighting department at Lowe's or Home Depot's and she just walk right through. Try to walk her through the lighting section to the plumbing section and see if you can make it without her stopping. See if you can do it. See if you can. Try it. It ain't possible. They're worse than dogs passing by another dog. They ain't gonna just look. Ooh, look at these lights over here. They got the nice chrome. You can't make it. When she goes to the lighting section, you think the bugs are attracted to lights. The women. And she's always going to gravitate to the most ornate thing in there. The most expensive damn ornate one in there. That's the one she's going to go to. Why? Because she is adorning her personal shrine. And the kitchen, yeah, I'm just saying, I'm trying to give you an easy example with the lights. But she wants to accessorize her personal shrine. So digital pictures ain't enough. When you take her to a store, it doesn't matter where it is, if they have paintings or stuff, there's stuff she wants to put on the wall. She wants to mark her personal territory. That even if you do bring another chick to the house, and you should never ever do that, even if you do bring another chick to the house, the other chick got to look at your woman while y'all laying up. That's how females emasculate each other. She's marking her territory. She's marking it. So he's hitting low by saying the kids, the engagement, the family man, the pictures. You know why he's saying that? He's like, sin. And ladies, y'all want pictures in a house because you understand pictures are how a man claims you. Pictures are how a man claims a woman. A man claims a woman in one of two ways when it comes to pictures. Number one, he puts up a bunch of pictures of himself with that woman because he wants the world to know, yeah, this is what I'm laying up with. Or number two, he has a bunch of pictures of you in his personal possession. That he's a guy who's got a bunch of pictures of you that he keeps on himself. If the man you're with doesn't have any public pictures of you that he shows other people, or he doesn't have a bunch of pictures of you that he keeps for himself, he don't fool with you like that for real, because he doesn't really want a reminder of you that that's the significance you have. He doesn't want to go there because that has significance. Carrying a picture of your woman in your phone, carrying a picture of her in your wallet, making her the screensaver, making it in something where people can get to it and it's accessible, that's ownership. That's owning. Ladies, how many of you been with a fella who ain't never took a picture of you? How many of you have been with a fella who never took a picture of you? How many of you ladies listen to me right now? You've been all over the damn world with a fella, and he's never wanted to see that look on your face when you walked into the presidential suite, when he took you to the penthouse, when he took you to the beach. He ain't never did that. It's just, all right, get your ass out the car. Come on now, you slowing this down. No, I'm not talking about pictures of the two of you together. I'm talking about he's taking pictures of you because he's like, I want to keep this image of you. I saw you when you walked out into the water at the beach. You were beautiful. I want to keep this. He saw you coming down the escalator at the hotel. He wants to keep this. He saw you at 2 a.m. in bed. He wants to keep this. Your man should be your biggest fan, is what I'm telling you. If a man claims you, he should be your biggest fan. And the manner in which we display that is one of two ways. We either show it publicly to the world so we can let them know, yeah, or we display it personally to ourselves. If all he got is sex videos with you, he don't fool with you for real. You are one of many. If he's got a bunch of portrait type pictures of you, this nigga is just constantly taking pictures of you on his phone, he's a fan. He's a fan. See, these are cues that women don't pick up because a woman is saying, well, if he sleeps with me. Ladies, most of you have been ill-served by your mammies. Because your mama never had a man who claimed her. That's why it was so easy for him to mess around on her. Because she never had a man who claimed her. The side chick don't get photos. You are correct. She doesn't get photos. She don't get text messages. She don't get anything. She gets contacted when he come through. Because she's expendable. Your woman is not expendable. I'm talking about in your heart of hearts. She's not expendable. She's not expendable. Ladies, think about your ex-boyfriends. Oh, I'm about to make some of y'all who've been sleeping with your exes still. I ain't gonna say no names. Some of y'all still like to lay up with your exes. But by the way, if you want to know what that dude really thinks about you, ask him to show you 10 pictures of yourself. Ask him if he has any pictures of you on his phone. Ask him. Ask him if he has any pictures of you. Not pictures of the two of you together even. Just ask him, hey, do you have any pictures of me? Just any that you've kept over the years. Fellas, y'all know it's the damn truth. If what you do with a woman is what you keep with her, if y'all just lay up, ain't no need to keep no pictures. Like, baby, look, I'm not Peter Parker with the Daily Bugle. I ain't gonna keep a bunch of photographs of you. I'm not Olin Mills. Look, I come through when I come through. When a man has claimed you, he's going to embrace that. But if you ladies think I'm just throwing game, go ask your exes. Go talk to them. I ain't talking about the sex videos. I'm just talking about the one of your face. I'm talking about some John Wick stuff. I'm talking about some John Wick stuff. I'm talking about when John Wick is in the movie and he's looking at that picture of his wife. It wasn't a picture of her cleavage. It wasn't a picture of her in a bikini. It wasn't a picture of them having sex. It was a picture of her face. That was what he had committed to. And he's like, I'm going to kill everybody in this damn city over this woman. And she ain't even here no more. The eyes are the windows to the soul, not your rear end, not your breasts, not your vagina. The eyes are the windows to the soul. And when a man has pictures of your face, he is saying, I have connected to your soul. That's my connection to you. If the only pictures he got of you is showing off cleavage, he's just trying to stunt in front of other people. He don't really fool with you like that. And a lot of you are under heavy misgivings about that.
Know what happened when those pictures got circulated? Here come negative, nasty, cancerous ass you underneath shade room comments. Oh, congrats. Oh, there's something she don't know. Oh, like just nasty, nasty shit. We saw it. Mental note. No need to address this publicly. That's not how me and mine move. Thank God for Cynthia. I love you.
Oh, that was a double low blow. That was a double low. So not only does he diss her and say, I had so much better than you. He then talks about the woman he left her for and gives her props. Shout out to Cynthia, even though he ain't with Sin Santana no more, to do that publicly. Ladies, when a man does that, you done. You're done. That's it. You're through. He used the new chick. I mean, he's going after. He's saying, forget it. The gloves are off. We going at it. We going at it. I'm not just hitting you low. I'm hitting you high, low, the back of the head, the throat. I'm fish hooking. I'm biting you. We in it. We going at it. You wanted to start this. You wanted to fight. Now you got a war. We going at it. I'm gonna hit you where it hurts. Everywhere. Let me say this publicly. By the way, thank God for Sin, the chick I got with after you. Oh, I can show respect to my exes. I can show it to Sin Santana. Oh, this ain't about being disrespectful to my exes. I can be respectful. Shout out to Sin. You know, the one I had the baby with. Shout out to Sin. You know, the one I went on Love and Hip Hop when he went back on TV with her a little while ago. Shout out. Oh, he did that just to be dirty, but she started it. She started it, and he's like, all right, you want to go there? Let's just go all the way there. Express tickets.
But it just is distasteful, is my point. I'm the fall guy still. I'm the guy that you can speak of, and instantaneously, this shit is all over the place. Oh, I'm playing the victim card. Why? Because we watched your abuse on national television. Not only that, but your lack of accountability for it. And now the comments are not so in your favor because your credibility is just a little, I mean, we seen it. We watched it. So what better way to do this than go get with, listen, man, this shit is see-through and transparent for me. And it pains me and sickens me because you are blatantly lying. Who knows that aside from you and I? But okay. But she seems to take offense from when I was addressing the bottle shit, which I thought I addressed with a lot of compassion and concern for somebody I cared about. Mm-hmm. She seemed to be offended by me saying that Tahiri will fight a man. I not only know that from our personal experience together because you have fought me 1,000,000 times. I know that because you swung on consequence when we went through whatever we went through. Mm. That goes against all Joe's rules, by the way. I preach, I don't care what's going on. I don't want the woman to get involved when men are about to scrap.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can get yourself hurt. Mm-hmm. You not only have done that, you've hit people that you thought I was moving on with.
Fellas, once again, you're red pill dudes. They're clueless. You're hearing all this stuff for the first time. So many of you are scared of what a woman will do. And what you really mean is that you're scared a woman's going to pick somebody else because you don't actually know how to get a woman to commit to you, and you don't know what that really means. Rolo can't tell you. Richard doesn't know. The rest of those guys there, all they know is about talking chicks who don't know them and whatnot. If you want to have a chick to commit to you, what you really mean to say is to have her invest in you. Oh, whole new words. Whole new words. Fellas, the reason why so many of you have anxiety about females, so many of you hate the thugs and bad boys, is because you feel like the females are willing to, keyword, invest in him. She lets him drive her car. She pay his bills. She let him sit up on the couch. What you're really trying to say, and these other people couldn't articulate it and put it into words for you, is that you feel like these other guys have been able to figure out how to get a woman to invest in them. And you feel like you don't know how to do that. Well, the biggest mistake so many of you are making is that you are not requiring the woman who is in your presence to invest in you. You're not requiring that she put skin in the game. No wonder it's so easy and seamless for her to leave. It isn't that when women are with you, they can turn off their emotions. No, it's because it wasn't there to begin with because she didn't invest anything. Once again, Rolo and the rest of these guys, they don't know anything about this. The MGTOW, Red Pill, Manosphere, these guys know nothing about it. They spend their time singing the blues about women's decisions. They can't tell you how to have a woman invest in you. Beware if a fella tells you that a man should pay all the bills necessarily. No, if you want to, but I would tell you it's actually better. She needs to pay something, no matter what level she's on. You better make her pay something. Otherwise, she is not invested. Furthermore, when a woman values a man, she has that you are not dependent on her. But understand something. A woman who pays nothing is not invested. Some of the guys out here trying to wing their way through this don't know this. Once again, they're trying to go off of what they theorize and hypothesize, not off of what they've lived. Not off of what they live. They're trying to guess what guys at my level do. They don't actually live this. A woman, by definition, cannot invest in something that when you don't demand that she do so. She can't be emotionally invested if she hasn't invested in other ways. And too many of you don't require that in the door. That's why you're mad at the thugs and bad boys, because the thugs and bad boys make it clear, hey, heifer, you got to invest walking in the door. Cash, gas, or ass. Nobody rides for free. Oh, did I just say that like that? This is why I got the business, so I can say those types of things over here. Oh, yeah, and I'm not worried about monetization or the loss thereof. You see, the thugs and the bad boys and the pimps and the players, they understand. When a broad walks in the front door, she gotta invest. She got to invest. She's got to put something of herself in this before she walks through the door. Before she walks in the door, she got to invest. Too many of you dudes are sitting up here putting yourself out there because you don't know what to require of her. Good looks ain't enough. Oh, please. People, come on now. This is how you know you're dealing with people who don't know what they're talking about. Good looks are supposed to be a given. What else you got? I know, to the fellows who have to negotiate, good looks for a woman is a bargaining chip. Heifer, good looks are a given. If you're going to get my attention, that's going to be a given. You ain't going to walk up to me looking like Big Mama Thornton talking about, hey, let's spend some time. Good looks are supposed to be a given. That's supposed to be the admission price. We got folk out here talking like that's something special. Like that's the maximum. No, good looks and a feminine attitude, that's a given. What else you got? I can pick up good looks and femininity anywhere. Hey, Wells Fargo and Chase Bank don't accept good looks and femininity. Did you hear me, one? I'm gonna make some enemies tonight. Y'all thought y'all was hearing the truth. Look, if you're not here on the business, you're not hearing it. Oh yeah, and what I'm giving you is actionable. And yes, I will open phone lines so you can come back and tell me if what I'm saying worked or not. We will go into that. These other folk won't do that because they understand, yeah, they don't really know what they're talking about. People, good looks, femininity, nice attitude, that's a given. That's a given. What else you got? See, you don't know how to make a woman invest in you. Jeff Bezos' wife didn't give him femininity. Oh, man. Boy, am I blowing up. Okay. All right. All right. All right. There you go. Jeff Bezos' wife didn't give him good looks and femininity. She helped him to found the biggest, most profitable company on the planet. From the soil, from the dirt, she did that. He didn't give her billions of dollars. She earned that. She helped found Amazon with him. She earned that. To the folks who don't know. For the folks, actually, let me be clear. To the people who don't know this, Mackenzie Bezos wasn't just a watcher. She wasn't a trophy wife. For those of you who don't know. He's the richest man on the planet because, and she assisted with that. Now, it would have gotten done with or without her, but you can't take away from the fact the bottom line is she was the one who was there. She was there. There's a reason that she's getting what she's getting. She was there. There's a reason he has no problem with it. Not because he can go back and get another 20 billion. That ain't the reason. As I told you all weeks ago, he didn't have a problem giving that to her because, hell, you earned it. Not only did you earn it, but I'm also sending you back out into the sexual marketplace because I got me a younger chick. I'm sending you back out into the sexual marketplace a lot older than I met you, and those billions of dollars will not get you another Jeff Bezos. My billions as Jeff Bezos can get me another Mackenzie Bezos. Your $20 billion ain't gonna get you another Jeff Bezos. You gotta make it on your own now. So let me give you $20 billion because this is it. This is it. Hey, money don't snuggle up with you at night, so take the 20 billion, but you're not gonna get another Jeff Bezos, and he knows that. So that was a mercy. To those of you who folk have been telling you that all a woman has to give you is a cute face, femininity, and nice conversation. No. We don't call that money over here. We don't call that money over here. Come back when you got the game together. You ain't got the game together. You're trying to guess your way through this. There's holes all in it. There's holes all in what you're saying. Because you're trying to cherry pick parts of my philosophy, recycle it, and repackage it to the people. It don't work. What you're doing's not working. It doesn't work. If people actually scrutinize it, you realize if I actually try to put this into practice, it don't work. What kind of a woman's got to bring a cute face and femininity is the cost of admission. I need to check everything else. How are you going to benefit me? And we gonna talk dollars. We gonna talk dollars. We're gonna talk something we can measure. I can't measure. Let me tell you something. We can't measure beauty. We can tell you if you got it or not. We can't measure it. We can't measure it. I can measure money. I can measure that. We don't have to guess about that. But you see, if you don't know how to entice or influence a woman to want to invest, what I'm saying right now sounds like alchemy. What I'm saying right now sounds supernatural. What I'm saying right now sounds extraordinary. No, you've just never done it. So let me make sure y'all are on the right track. Other folk have misled you. Let me make sure you're on the right track. Oh, I lost some viewers there when I said that. Some of these folks is upset. Some of them are upset. Oh, you were getting fed comforting little lies. You wanted somebody to tell you that you didn't have to actually be able to get folk to invest. Shout out in the chat to Ree and everybody else on the Cash App and whatnot. Thank you very much. I ain't begging for nothing though. Other folks, they gotta beg for it. I ain't begging for nothing. If you appreciate it, that's cool.
What do we do when women are abusive and they paint the picture that it was solely the man?
Well, that's what I wanted you to clear up.
That sounds horrible to say, but I know plenty of men that are involved in abusive relationships.
Well, that's why I wanted you to be clear when you said you guys fought. Is that what you're getting at?
No, when I say fight, Rory, I'm talking about in the romantic sense. This time that she's talking about where I went through a phone, you were cheating, I went through the phone, I addressed it, and you said, yeah, nigga, I should have cheated more. And then we had a fight. Not a physical fight. We've had that fight that people have in relationships. I was young. It was nasty. It was disgusting. It was horrible. But I'm not taking accountability for nothing that Joe didn't do. And a lot of this shit is nasty. When Sin City dude put his hands on you in your face and your nose got broke, you called me. What did Joe do? Joe showed up. First thing I do. When you told me in the summertime or whenever you told me about this Votto shit, the first thing I said was, well, what do you want to do in support of? And you said, I said, well, what happened? How do we handle this? You said, you got to just watch the show. Excuse me? See, for me, somebody that knows you, what it said was, I can no longer differentiate between what is real and what is not. I don't think you're in a relationship with this guy. I don't care. It's none of my business. We watch what we watch. Who gives a fuck? It's not my place.
Fellas, you know that you are essential to a woman when she has a break with reality. When a woman has a break with reality, and by the way, I am here to just tell you outright, I want to make you that valuable. My job, I see it as essential to make it where you are that essential. Because that's what you want. That's what you want. You want to be inexpendable. That's what I want you to understand. I want you to understand that that's what you're really looking for, and other people aren't talking to you that way. So you're not getting what you really need. You're really not. By the way, just for the record here, I think Sin Santana might have just posted a video where she is all over defending Joe Budden, by the way. That's the other thing I want to tell you about. Talk about keep staying on your square. Talking about remaining a man of means and resources. She just posted up a video here, I think a few minutes ago, talking about how great Joe is. They done broke up a year and a half ago. Fellas, it's not about chasing women. It's about attracting them. It's not about doing nothing for her. It's about doing it for yourself. And women are a side effect of having your act together. Women are a side effect of you being solid. Yeah, they might understand something. A woman is gonna try ya. Let's be very, very clear. She gonna try ya. And if you're a man who's solid, your response is supposed to be, well, get your ass on out there then. If you think you're gonna find another me, if you think you can replace me, oh, we ain't gonna play no games about it. Get your crap, get up, and get gone, and go replace me. Don't talk about it, be about it. Because I ain't gonna talk about it, I'm all about it. Go ahead, and I ain't here to argue nothing. I ain't got to sell this, it sells itself. Go replace me if you can. Let me tell you something, fellas. You need to do something right here. Let me lay down stone cold game on you. Your woman shouldn't be allowed to look through your phone. She should be allowed to take a peek through your wallet one time. Oh, I said it. Your woman need to be allowed to peek through your wallet one time. You know why? Because she needs to see what's in there. At least one time she needs to see it. Let her see that Chase Sapphire. Let her see that Amex. Let her see that Platinum card. Go ahead and go to your credit card website and let her see them high 5 figures, 6 figures. Let her see that one time. Let her see it at least one time. Because you see, men lie and women lie. Citibank don't lie. Oh, did you hear me one? Men lie and women lie. American Express don't lie for nobody. Did you hear that? Tell me if your other so-called gurus and red pill act, tell me if they ever said this to you. I ain't talking dating advice. I'm talking male-female power dynamics. She can get up and leave you. She can go find another man to lay up with. Can she find another man with a platinum? Can she find another man with a Sapphire Reserve? Can she find another man with a card that's made of metal? Can she find another one of those? She can get sex anywhere. Can she get a builder? I stopped using terms like high value because those are terms that are open to interpretation. Producer is not open to interpretation. Is she with a man who produces? Because a producer keeps building on top of that. But fellas, if you want to do something, go ahead and let us see that inside that wallet one time. Let her go ahead and see them 6 or 7 cards one time. Let us see where the seat of power is one good time. One good time. Let her go ahead and hold them in her hands. Let her go on ahead and see what $100,000 in her hands feels like. $100,000 that somebody else has trusted you with. And by the way, it doesn't have to be 100,000. Let's just keep it all the way real. A lot of these chicks you can get with 20. So most, not a lot, most, the overwhelming majority, you can get them for 20. It doesn't matter their range or whatever, because the men are doing way better than the women. So let's just call it what it is. By the way, I don't even have to set the bar that high. Don't worry, we're going to get into all of this and debunk all of the myths that you've been fed in the last 6 months. We're going to debunk all of that. But a bunch of you are afraid to tell her, you know what? I think it'd be better off for you to go test your damn wings. There's too many of you that because you haven't demonstrated to yourself, and this is something you got to do on your own. But you got to understand, women practice at an early age cycling men out. Do you all understand that? Females learn from an early age to trade you in and swap you out for a better deal. They learn that at an early age because you ain't looking for the same thing from her that she's looking for from you. So you're looking for her to just stay where she is, and she's looking to get a better deal. She's looking for someone who's going to put in a higher bid. So women learn at an early age to swap men, to be ready to swap you out. Men try to figure out how to hold on forever, but women are taught from an early age, be ready to swap, be ready to move. Because you only have a limited amount of time to use what you got. Be ready to move. Too many of you fellas have not been taught to move like that. You haven't been taught to move like that. You're looking for a secret formula, and there ain't one. It's just about having it together. There's no secret formula to it. And as men, you haven't cultivated the practice of being able to swap women out, to trade them in, to show to yourself you can do it, so that if things look bad, you don't feel like you're going to be destitute. You see, the reason that women, remember I said this before, women don't pedestalize men. Oh, don't worry, these other fellas who love eating off my plate, y'all are going to smell a lot of the aroma on their videos and channels because you can't replicate this because you guys have already gone stale and stagnant. Understand, we're rich here. We are rich in the knowledge of it here. The soil is fertile. The soil is fertile. You're not used to being able to have the option of being able to swap them out. Women don't pedestalize men. That's why I told men, don't pedestalize women. You've heard from a bunch of men. They tell you all the damn time, she's the only one for me. She's the only. You never hear women say that. It doesn't matter how bad the breakup is or anything else. You never hear a woman say, I'll never find another one like him. All of your dating coaches are primarily fueled and funded by destitute males, not by women. A woman never believes that you're the last one. A woman never believes you're the only one. Men out here treating women, you're the only one. Women never treat us like that. She truly believes in her heart of hearts, I can swap you out whenever I get ready to. It's just a matter of me getting ready to swap you out. As men, you'll reach producer status when you realize that you are empowering control, but you've got to cultivate that capability. But it's not something that you can do at the last damn minute. Once again, your red pill gurus and your online YouTube people living off their donation stuff, they don't know this. So they've never said this to you before because they don't know it. You can't just start that in the year 2020. You can't just start doing that in your 30s. The reason why the thugs and the players and the bad boys don't have those types of emotional issues is because they learned early on to put into practice as part of their lifestyle that if things go bad with one female, there'll be another one. I can trade her in. I can swap her out. I'm not destitute. She's not my only option. I can cultivate more. The rest of you guys grow up socially awkward, and I was one. I'm not just putting, I was one too. I had to learn how to get out of that. But it's going to be real hard if you're in your 30s and you've got a lifetime of bad habits. You have a lifetime of clinginess and neediness. You've never cultivated that, hey, she can get another man. Well, guess what? I can get another woman. You're damn right. Reading to you from the black book. I'm reading to you from the black book right now. Damn your pills. Your red pills, your black pills, your gray pills, damn that. We're reading from the black book. As males, you have to start that early or you're going to learn it late. Now, it's going to be tougher if you got to learn it late because it's going to hurt more. Like anything else in life, if you don't learn it early, it will hurt more to learn it later, but you're going to learn it. You're going to learn it. So fellas, you need to start cultivating early the ability to have the confidence in yourself, and you have to do it through practice. Fellas, if you have not cultivated the ability to entertain the company of more than one woman, then understand women see that deficiency within you. Females learn this from the time they're in middle school. They see the nerds, they see the geeks. They know the guys who are socially awkward, and they know you ain't got options. They learned this early. Don't think girls are naive. They know this in middle school. The fella who ain't got no options, she's like, meh. But when it's time to go to prom, if the guy she wants to go with ain't going, all of a sudden she knows how to rub up on you. They learned this early. We do ourselves no favor being naive about it. We do ourselves no favors being naive. That's the point I want you to understand. Females are not naive about this. I don't advise you to lie to focus stuff. You don't have to do that. But as men, no wonder you don't have confidence and you are susceptible to being lured in by these YouTube people who are giving you half philosophies. Because they don't know. And by the way, I'm taking a look at these cats. I'm listening to them talk. These are some of the most socially awkward, corny, really inarticulate dudes, just to be totally honest with you. But they're not preying on women, they're preying on other men. They're talking about women, but for the purposes of luring in other men. So I just thought I would just go ahead and sprinkle you with that little anecdote there. Fellas, don't pedestalize women, they don't pedestalize you. And the reason that they don't is because they truly believe they can swap you out. Because they learned at an early age. Most males don't learn at an early age. You have to learn that.
But I have to point out, yet again, you're faking some shit for money. You're just chasing a bag. There's a game that you're playing, and that's okay. I'm not knocking it. But some things have occurred to where it's like, fam, you don't have to do some of this shit for money. Like, stand on something. Have a backbone. Don't just do whatever a fucking producer tells you to do. I bought a mattress from you recently. You were selling mattresses and called me. You hustling. I get it.
Well, oh, how the mighty have fallen and the great men of war laid low. I could go and get another picture. I ain't gonna do that. You all can go Google. I just want to be clear. Like, Tahiri is what, 40 years old now? At this point, she's 40 years old. Fellas, understand a woman can't live without options. She can't make it without options. And she can't live without time. Okay, correction, she's 41 now. Tahiri's 41. Hell, Joe ain't even 41 yet. No, he didn't take it too far. She opened up this can of ass whooping. All he did was pour it out on her plate. She opened this can of ass whooping. All he did was pour it on her plate. And yes, he meant what he said. Like Mattress Plus and the Mattress Firm. Yes, I bought a mattress from her. Now you can go Google Tahiri Jose. She wasn't a bad looking broad. She's not a bad looking broad today, but let's just keep it real. Tahiri, you gave Joe Budden your 20s. As you were exiting your sexual peak, you gave those years to him. Of all the people you could have chosen, you chose that. When you make that decision, you gotta make the right one. And her problem is that she jumped off the ship before the ship came in. She thought the ship was gonna sink and the ship came in. you made a bad bet. You made a bad bet. You see, if y'all take a look at that video they did, the longest breakup, she should have demanded that he marry her then, because he was most susceptible to do it right then. She didn't do it. You know why? Because she saw the problems and she succumbed to a typical female fallacy. Tahiri didn't marry Joe Budden a decade ago when he was most agreeable and he would have married her at the drop of a hat. She didn't do it because she was holding out for a better option. She still believed that she could trade him in. She did not want to commit to him at that time because she still believed that she still had enough fire and enough attractiveness and enough juice that she could pull something better. So she wanted to stay in his circle of association so that she could keep that shine, but she was holding out for better. No, she didn't want to get with J.R. Smith either, because nobody really wants to stay with athletes, because you understand that an athlete is only going to be at the peak of his earnings so long as he can play, and so women consider those to actually be very, very risky. Money from intellectual property is not as risky. So she was never going to stick with J.R. Smith. She was holding out for a better deal. She was hoping that eventually he would come into contact with some rapper who was really popping, and the fact that she went from Joe to what's his name, Vado, a rapper who was supposed to be up and coming and never achieved his potential. Oh yeah, and isn't Vado younger than she is, by the way? Isn't he significantly younger, like 5 or 6 years younger than she is? In the chat room, I know you'll all correct me if I'm wrong about it, but isn't that Vado character, isn't he younger than her? So she got another rapper. She wanted to get somebody who was younger because older women believe, because it's usually true, that they can psychologically and emotionally dominate a younger male. So did she go and get a guy who's already built? No. She tried to go see if she could recruit from the farm team again. She wanted a do-over of Joe Budden. Y'all see it for what it is. A woman can't live without options. So she figured, I'll just wrap my legs around the next up and coming thing, and she made another bad bet. Now that's got to look bad for your ex Joe Budden to see you making all these bad bets over and over and over again. That's got to hurt. To publicly have that on display. That's gotta hurt. And since you went there with it and you decided to go bad with it, he just said, well, man, screw it. Let's just get them up. You want to drag dirt on people? Heifer, I just bought a mattress from your ass. You ain't balling like that. Stop trying to tell people you got projects going on and things are going good. It ain't like that. It's not like that at all. Kudos to Joe for laying the dirt out there. Because this is how you gain her respect. By letting her know that you ain't gonna punk me out like that. Understand something. She's about to gain more respect for him because he's letting her know, baby, look here. Play with somebody else. Don't come for me. I ain't sent for you. Tahiri is having problems accepting the new reality. She's having trouble accepting the new way under the sun. And to my fellas listening right now, because this is not the way that the rest of these deficient, insufficient individuals with their YouTube channels and their books and their seminars and their coaching, they don't talk to you to say what I'm about to say. I want to if you come and talk to me about how to deal with male-female relations, let me be very clear. I want to put you in the position that Joe Budden is in. I want your ex, if she leaves you, I want her to go crazy. I want her to lose her mind. I want her to start marking up her skin. I want her to start eating uncontrollably. I want her to get a bunch of janky friends. I want her to pick up bad habits. I want her to take an L. I want to show you how to be I want to discuss with you how to be indispensable. Oh yeah, and I ain't charging for it. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not charging for it. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this damn thing right here, y'all. Okay, we getting ready to do it then. Let's just go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and zoom in case you can't see it clearly enough here. Oh yes, I want the broad to lose her mind. Say hello to Amber Rose. Kanye West. Amber Rose went up and got tattoos because Kanye ain't coming back. Kanye is going to leave all of his accomplishments and all of his shine with Kim Kardashian. You're done. You're through. And she ain't taking it well at all. Fellas, if you want to know the difference between me and all these other people, I don't want you to have an equal relationship. I don't want that. If you do, go talk to all the rest of these people to get dating advice and marriage advice and love advice and all. I'm not here to talk about that. If you come to me, I am going to speak to you about power dynamics. You know why? Because power is never going to get up one morning and tell you, you know what? I think I want another man. Power is never going to get up one morning and say, you know what? I don't think I love you anymore. Your power is never going to get up one morning and say, you know what? I don't think I'm committed to you anymore. That's the difference between me and everybody else. Your power and masculinity as a man is never going to get up one morning and betray you. And you've never had a man sit up here and tell you that as a man, a woman is supposed to lose her damn mind behind you. And the reason why you hate the thugs and the bad boys is because you wish you had that type of intensity, that type of primal reaction that they get from these women. You want that, but you're being shamed into thinking that it's wrong for you to say that. No, it isn't. If there's something you want in this world, you go get it, or you go take it. I want the women to go crazy over you. I want the women to go nuts over you. I want the women busting out car doors, throwing I forget the stuff we used to use, the paint thinner on your car. I want your female going to Ace Hardware and getting a gallon of paint cleaner, and I want her whistling while she's pouring it on top of your damn car. I want her on Facebook making videos. I want her making posts. I want her calling your job. Don't say that right there. I don't want him coming. Okay, fine. Say it. Do that then. Go ahead and be over there with them. I want her trying to fight your next chick. I want the whole damn 9 yards. I want the whole damn 9 yards. No, somebody else is going to tell you they don't want that. Listen to me. I want to teach you how to create drama. I want your absence to create drama. I want your absence to be a problem. I want your absence to be a big problem. That is what I want. Nobody else is just coming out and saying this. I'm coming out and saying it directly. By the way, you're probably going to hear some of them start to use similar phraseology now that I've done it because they keep eating off me. Go ahead and eat on up, fellas. But yes, fellas, I want you to have them problems. I want you to have them. You know why? Because I got them problems. And you know what? I ain't trying to give them up. I want that. If it's over, I want it to be a disaster. I want her to be heartbroken. I want her to be singing Tears in My Beer and slitting her wrist and everything. Those songs, I want her singing them songs. Gotta remember it's YouTube. You can't advocate for self-harm. But if it go down, it go down. It ain't no joke. Fellas, the reason why you need to get her the reason why you need to have the capacity to get the Prada bag, the reason why you need to have the capacity to upgrade her is because a man who can upgrade a woman ain't saying stupid stuff like, what if she get divorced? A fella who has the ability to upgrade a female and he's not doing it because he's desperate. He ain't doing it because he's tricking. He's doing it because he has made it clear to her that he is rewarding her for doing what she's supposed to do. That fella's not going to be complaining like that. That's the reason you have to have that. The reason why you need to be able to upgrade and change her life, to upgrade her mentality, you have to be able to do all those things is because that is what, and then require her to invest in it. Once you do that, she doesn't have to be 40 years old. She's going to be 22 years old saying, I done put too much in this nigga to walk away. You don't do it begging. And you don't do it hoping that your bank account is going to have some mystical, magical properties to it that are going to compel her to do something she otherwise wouldn't. You do all these other things because it's what drives emotion. Women are emotional creatures, but you're not driving them. You're letting her emotions drive you. No, you drive the emotions. You invite the emotions. You control the drama. And then she emotionally invests in that. And anybody who tells you that all women love drama. You've been watching damn soap operas for 8 damn decades and then gonna tell me that women don't love drama. Yes, they do. You better learn to use it like lightning or electricity and harness it. They have a capacity for drama. I'm telling you to harness it. Too many of you are trying to figure out how to get your sex game together, and the thugs and bad boys got you beat because they know how to create controlled drama. What I told you on, for those of you who've seen the Dark Arts of Game, if you're not subscribed to my Patreon, you haven't seen the Dark Arts of Game. I did a whole video where I described cycling her through her emotions. In the chat room, Heifer, what you talking about when she gets older? What does that mean? She's still gonna be a female, ain't she? Period. Women gossip worse when they get older. Women are about more gossip. You've never seen as much gossip as you have at a church with a bunch of little old ladies. Talking about when they get older. And they just get better at it. You trying to dig your way out of this. You ain't no saving face. You're talking to adults here. The older women get, the more gossiping they do. And don't let one older woman have a do. Y'all do realize it's old women fighting on World Star, right? Y'all do realize that it's old women fighting on World Star. You got chicks in their damn 40s fighting on World Star over a man. I'm over the age of 40. I know a bunch of chicks done got into it over a dude. Don't let him be the last one leaving. Fellas, if you're over the age of 30, have the capacity to buy her a car. Leave it in your name. Have the capacity to buy her a car, a nice one. She is gonna slit every damn throat that come through the room. Every damn one. And if she's older, now she got something to lose. You're gonna sit up here and set her up and give her a good look and she got something to lose? Please. As they get older, the game gets more cutthroat. Talking about what happens when a woman gets older. Hello, this happens. Hello, this happens when a woman gets older. Since you gotta ask what happens, this happens. When she gets older, this occurs. If that man is no longer available, yeah, this is what happens. If that man is no longer available to give her what she once had, she is not going to give up on the idea of getting that. She going to go nuts over it. That's what's going to happen. This is what happens when they get older and they they lose a producer. When they actually do attempt to go, it's like your kids. Everybody's got, if you came up with a household with multiple siblings, all of us had one sibling who figured they knew it all, tried to leave home, and they was gonna show the parents that they was grown at 15 or 16. I got this. Walked their asses out there into the real world and got their asses whooped. To a fare ye well. That nigga came running back, didn't they? Thought they knew it all. Gonna show the rest of the family, I got this. That's how it is when a woman loses her producer. I'm gonna show you I can get me a nuttin'. I'm like what Ike Turner said, gonna get me a nuttin' like that uddin'. I'll show you. She walks her ass out there and figures all she got to do is show a little thigh, and there's gonna be another Joe Budden right around the corner. 3 damn years later, she done got her ass beat in with rejection. She's had a bunch of sexual partners, but no sponsors. All of a sudden, she gonna come crawling back. She know the deal. She know the deal. And as men, I just want you to understand, you've been misled by a bunch of dudes. Most of them are older than you all, and they're trying to cash in on your naivete. I'm not cashing in on it. I'm explaining it to you. If you never had a father or a man to explain to you how to be in control of your relationships, I'm talking about business, male, female, political, employment. If they hadn't talked to you about that, here it is. This is something that's applicable across the board. So this is something for you to learn. I'm going to see if I can open up the phone lines here. See if we don't have any problems. Because there were some folks who need to call up. And we're going to give them that opportunity. We do what nobody else does. And I just want you to understand what that is. We do what they don't do. Because they can't. But I want you to be aware that in a lot of these instances, you have been fooled. You have been misled. You have not been told the real. And all I'm doing here is I'm giving you an opportunity to understand that. That's all I'm doing. If what you're hearing sounds radically different, or if it sounds more in-depth, and some of y'all are scared. I'm looking in the chat room here. It's some folks who are scared of what they're hearing. It's scaring some of you. Some of the dudes listening right now, some of the guys, I mean, you're showing your colors right now. The females aren't scared. Now, this is the amazing thing. You take a look in the chat room here. The females aren't scared of the talk I'm giving. The females are either being quiet or saying, you know, he's right, like Morgan Freeman. I'm seeing some dudes in the chat room. Scared. That's the thing I'm taking a look at. Well, I'm seeing some dudes in the chat room talking about, well, Jason, I don't know if this is all right. I mean, man, you talking about drama, man. Oh, wow. Okay. So the females got the backbone and the dudes are in here scared? Someone explain to me how in the world that works. You know, if the people that you've been listening to haven't emboldened you, that's a problem. If the people who you have been listening to have not emboldened you, then that's a problem. The people that you're listening to should be emboldening you. They should be empowering you. As a man, you ain't supposed to have any limits. Oh, wait a minute, did I say that? You're not supposed to have any limits. A woman doesn't want to get with a man who's walking in the door telling her what the limits are. See, you all don't understand how to take your place as a man, and that the women will adapt to your position. You trying to ask the women, okay, what you want? I'll see if I can get you that there. You're trying to figure out how to do that. And that's not the way that it works. It doesn't work that way. You have to, women are going to respond to the environment that you as a man produce and present. But you first have to produce and present that environment. And then once you produce it and present it, you make no apologies. That is the next thing. You don't make any apologies for it. You've laid down the format. You make no apologies. You're not disrespectful. You've already paid her the respect of letting her know what it is. That's it. You've given her the respect of letting her know what it is. And from there, she will adapt and adjust. But you've been taught that your job is to please women. No, your job is not to please them. Your job is not to please them. Your job is to lead, not please. And other people have told you that that's not accurate. You've been led to believe that that's not accurate. And that's the thing I'm trying to help you cure now. You see, once you have it understood that they'll adapt to that, then you just start leading. It gives you confidence, but you gotta have it. Confidence is something that you have to build, but understand, women can see that a lot of you, the real problem is you're lacking confidence to be able to define it on your own. So when other folk do it, it seems like alchemy. It just seems unreal. You're not really sure how to make it work. That's the type of misleading that I'm referring to. That's what I mean by you're being misled. And you're being told that it's alchemy. You're being told that it's special. You're being told that it's incredible, but it's not. But it's not. You never heard anybody say to you before, I'm trying to have them I want them to go crazy over you. You know why? Because it's better that than the other way around. Women are already thrown off to begin with. I would rather have them going nuts over you than the other way around, fellas. I'm just the guy saying it outright. I'm just saying it outright. And if nobody said it to you here before, I'm saying it to you now. You think what you're doing is respecting folk, and that's not what you're doing. You're not respecting them, you're actually disrespecting them. And it's disrespectful because you're not giving them something to say yes to. As men, you have to present them with something to say yes to. You have to present them with something that they can buy into. Because without that, she doesn't see a reason to be there. That is what she cannot live without. She can't live without that. Some people may get upset about it, and that's okay too. I have never wanted to make it a situation where I tried to make people happy. And too many folk have sat up here and led you off into something and, oh, well, we'll figure it out as we go along and whatnot. And all I'm seeing is a bunch of messed up, agitated, angry, upset, damn near psychotic dudes out here, and some of them are. We're feeding into men's problems as opposed to correcting them. We're actually feeding into them now. That's what I'm looking at. We're actually feeding into the worst impulses. Now, I can sit here and explain these things, and I can tell you about them, but it's not going to help if you don't hold a standard for it. You're going to have to be tired of not getting the results. It's not enough for me to be tired of it for you. You got to be tired of that. You have to be. It's not up to me to be tired of it for you. You have to be tired of that. Once you're tired of it, the rest will happen. Or at least I hope it will. At least I hope it will. As a man, you can't live without being respected. As a man, if you are not respected, that'll be a problem.
Show. We are reconnecting you now.
Don't know what they're doing, but anyway. As a man, you can't live without being respected. That's the issue that you're running into. You're not going to be able to make it without being respected. Okay, I'm adjusting the volume over here right now. Because I want to take some phone calls. Some folks, if you're having issues with your audio, you might want to adjust that. We're going to go ahead and see if we can take a few phone calls. I won't do it all night, but I'll see if we can take a few. All right. Turning everything back on so you all can hear. Gonna see if I can take caller from 904. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, sounds like the Amityville Horror going on over there. I'm gonna try one more, because if we're having issues with the audio, we'll see what's going on with that. Caller from area code 312. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Jason Black? This is Chris from Chicago.
Chris from Chicago, what's on your mind?
Oh, not much. I had a quick question. What do you think about a man that's down for a woman that's less than him, or should he find like a woman that's potentially on the same level as he is?
Okay, you're saying, what do I think of a man who, what with a woman, or one who's on his level?
What do you think of a man that's already invested in himself, basically? Because you have spoke earlier about a woman should invest in you in a way. Well, if he already successful, should he settle with something less and he build her up, or do she still supposed to contribute?
A woman is always supposed to contribute. This idea that a woman is not supposed to contribute, y'all have let dudes sit up here and tell you all overly simplistic things because these are things they've never put into action, or they never learned the lessons. So a woman must always, always, always contribute. What a woman is never supposed to do is support you or lead. You're supposed to be good with or without her. You're supposed to be leading. That doesn't mean that she's not supposed to contribute. This idea that a woman ain't supposed to contribute and she just sit back and paint her nails, this is why y'all end up regretful at the end, because you're like, damn, I should have made her contribute. Yeah, you should have. So a woman is always supposed to contribute. What she's not supposed to do is support you and take care of you, and you're not supposed to be dependent on her. But yes, she's supposed to always contribute. That shows she's active.
Right. Okay. That's all I need to know, Jason. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. No, fellas, don't get trapped into thinking that that a woman's supposed to sit back and do nothing. A woman is supposed to contribute. She is always supposed to contribute. You're supposed to make her buy in. Get her to buy in. If you don't insist that she buy in, then don't be surprised that she cashes out with no feelings and no emotion. You never required her to emotionally invest. The fellows who want a one-night stand with her require more emotional investment. Caller from area code 505. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, this is Chris. How you doing? From Albuquerque.
Chris from Albuquerque, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I appreciate you and your different broadcasts that you do. And with the business, yeah, you got to give women something to buy into. If you're not making things happen, if you're not growing, if you're not building, she's like, I can give me someone else that is doing that, and they're gonna leave you. And you need to be building for yourself. Because if you aren't building, like we say, how are you gonna get that respect?
Well, definitely, you certainly need to build for yourself, and women are the beneficiary. Women are a side effect of your success, but they are not. They are also beneficiaries of your success. You're not supposed to build it for them. You're supposed to build it so that you're a benefit of everyone, including and especially your woman. The problem is when we start getting the idea, I will build it for her, and this is how I get women. No, you become a person who is esteemed and admired, and that attracts a bunch of people, including the woman you might want to spend the rest of your life with. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight in the chat room. Veronica Andrews, you got a question, you need to give me a call. Oh, let me go ahead and put the number on my screen while I'm sitting up here doing other stuff here. Let me go ahead and put the number on the screen. The telephone number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the business. The only place that discusses male-female power dynamics that you can actually act on. If you're not listening to us, you being got. Caller from area code 504. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is CL from Pensacola.
CL from Pensacola. What's on your mind?
I wanted to know, I was asking what happens when, you advocate for women not laying a foundation in their younger years, which I keep hearing that she gave him her 20s. So if you lay a foundation with a producer, should you constantly have to worry about getting cycled out as you get older?
Yes. Yes, you should.
Okay.
Oh, hell.
So,
now, by the way, you red pill and other people like that, they be real squeamish. Well, let me explain to you. Hell no. Should you, as a woman, should you worry about being cycled out by a producer? You damn skippy. And you know why? Because if he stops producing for you, you will have no hesitation, no reservations, and no mercy to cycle him out. If you're with a man who's producing and then he stops producing, if you got an opportunity to sleep with his brother, his cousin, or whatever, and cycle him out, you gonna do it in a heartbeat. So you damn right, that's a two-way street. Women do this every single day. They have abused the court system to the point that the court system has become a damn slaughterhouse to men's productivity and to their assets. The court system is a testament to how women destroy men if they don't hold up or satisfy her. You damn right. If you don't pull your weight, or if he's not happy, or if you get old and fall off your job, you damn right. You just became a candidate to get cycled out. You sure did. Yes, you did. Because you knew how to get him, and whatever you did to get him, you knew what you did, so you also know how to keep him. And if you make a decision you're gonna stop doing that, guess what? You're the next contestant on The Price is Wrong.
Well, I don't mean letting yourself go. I mean that everybody's gonna get older, and that's just something that can't be avoided.
Okay, but
so
here's the problem. No. That's not what you mean. You said a younger, prettier option. Problem, pretty is relative. Yeah. See, here's the problem. Another thing about you manosphere nitwits. I don't want to get any of you jackasses into a discussion about what females are pretty or who's cute or who's sexy, because all of a sudden that the range of when they're supposed to fall off, all of a sudden it starts stretching. If a man got with you early, he's gonna keep you. Men don't discard women unless the woman starts becoming a disciplinary problem. A woman will stay with a man, will leave a man if everything else is okay, but his paper falls off. She will leave him for that one thing. And by the way, here's another thing. Who initiates 8 out of 10 divorces, who initiates them?
Women.
Who initiates 7 out of 10 breakups among boyfriends and girlfriends? Who initiates them?
Women.
Oh, okay. So what you really mean is that this is a female problem. Ah, there you go. Yeah, women will run off at the drop of a hat. Men don't have a record of doing that. So I want to thank you for that, because that's called projection. Yeah, women project it. It's like, if the man's in the position of power, what's to prevent him from doing to me what I normally do to men? What do we do? Well, how do I navigate that? And the truth of the matter is, no, women get very uncomfortable when a man is in a position to have leverage, because she realizes, well, I'll be damned, he could do to me what we normally do to men. Welcome to the new world. I suggest you stay on your game. I suggest you remember all the things you did to get him. I suggest that you suppress that urge to become a disciplinary problem. I suggest you do all those things. If you do, you give yourself the best shot to keep your spot. As a woman, once you get your spot, it's really a matter of keeping it. And here's the thing, as a man, we don't require you to make as much money as us to fix no cars. All y'all got to do is stay pretty, and pretty is relative. Because, like, for example, dudes out here talking about Halle Berry. I think she's 54 years old now. Stacey Dash is over 50 now. Dudes are still sitting up here talking about how pretty they are. So what does that tell you? The only reason that they're saying that is because
they're not marriage material.
But these are not women that these men have had to be personally involved with. But if they had their shot with them today, they would take it. So what I'm saying is that
to sleep with them or to marry them.
Well, what I'm saying is that these women already were married. They were the ones who screwed that up.
Yeah, and none of them are married now.
Okay, but whose fault is that? The men? Because you were calling in talking about, well, what if the men want to do this and the men want to do that once you get a certain age? These women who got older, was it the men who cycled them out?
No, because in the people that you named, they were in the role of the producer, so to speak.
And there you go. But what I am saying is that the men didn't cycle them out either. The men didn't cycle them out either. The women either became severe disciplinary problems or whatever else. The inevitable occurs, but the men didn't cycle them out. The women, okay. So as a woman, right. You're going to be okay for the most part, but you already know what it takes to keep your spot. You already know it. The real thing is, are you going to stay on your square, or are you going to do something you shouldn't do? Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 843. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
TBA is Tobias out of Phoenix.
Tobias out of Phoenix. Sound off.
Man, you're talking about Jeff Bezos, his ex-wife. I got a good example for you also. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and his ex-wife, who has been his business manager for the past number of years. And she was with him when he had $7 in his pocket, hence the name of his production company, $7 Entertainment. And look what happened now. And plus, what a lot of these women don't get also is that she didn't go out trying to clean him out either.
No, she didn't.
Look what she had now. She was the one who got the XFL deal started.
Well, no, even further than that, so, Dwayne has helped her. Understand something, like she worked for a bank. Yep. She worked for like a bank, and Dwayne has helped her because he let her be his manager. As a result of being his manager, she is now the manager of Henry Cavill, Superman. And Dwayne used his leverage when he got signed on as Black Adam. He now used his leverage. Now that Henry Cavill is one of her clients, he used his leverage to get Henry Cavill back in as Superman. So now she's got more leverage in the movie system than she's ever had. She got more weight and more leverage than she has ever had as a result of her relationship to that man. When he wanted to leave or whatever the case may be, that was just it. She didn't try to clean him out. She didn't try none of that nonsense. She didn't do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
She left it as it was. And she wasn't a disciplinary problem, and she let it be. That's how you're supposed to handle it. And as a result of handling it properly, he has allowed her to remain a part of what he does. He's helped to enhance what she does. Men don't, but here's the other thing, brother. The women, they just play, that's their anxieties talking. The truth is that women understand that they usually control the relationship, and they're used to having the power to decide whether you get sex tonight or not. They're used to having that power. And they don't want to give that up. Let's just be honest about it. Women are used to dictating if a man has companionship tonight. She has no desire to let go of that. So as soon as she gets an opportunity to pull rank, if you allow it, she's going to do that. They're just not used to men having the ability to say, you know what, I control this. I call the hands, because as soon as that happens, then her anxiety starts speaking. Well, what if he's going to leave? Well, what if this? Well, what if that? Okay, but they don't ever say, women never get together as a group and counsel each other about, ladies, the fellas are afraid if his money ain't right, you going to leave. What if you do? The girls get together and say, if that nigga money fall out, baby, get you another. Oh, they're ruthless about that. If his money fall off, start looking. If things get tough, start looking. All I'm doing is telling men how to balance that.
That's true.
I'm just telling guys how to balance this out. That's all.
And one thing also, like with Cam Newton in the news, where like his ex-wife was, they were mad that she only had shaft for $15,000, and I'm like, did y'all read where he told the judge to give the judge a number, and that he was giving her money anyway. But these people want her to clean out. But they don't realize, hey, if you don't clean this guy out, it's going to be more money for me in the long run than me just cleaning him out. And I just think a lot of these women don't see the long game in that. They just see the short-term thing. They think, it's like a lot of our women, they see, I just have the baby, I get the money. The money is when you get married to the guy and have his children. That's where the money's at. Look at Black China. She blew it. She blew a golden opportunity. And so a lot of these women don't understand that. And they don't realize they can't be easily replaced. Because, hey, I have no problem if I'm in a relationship, I really care about a woman. Hey, I'll buy you a pair of red bottoms. I'll do that right there. We'll go to Victoria's Secret, we'll go to your makeup shop and do whatever. But see, what a lot of guys don't get who complain is that I remember I took an ex of mine at Sephora and bought some makeup. Then I knew her birthday came up, so I bought a $200 gift card. And I asked the girl there, was that a good amount? And those women were like, yeah, that's great. And a couple women there was like, I wish my man did that. And so what ladies got to understand is a lot of women, they will push you down a flight of stairs to be in that position to get that because they ain't getting that from their men. But a lot of these guys got to know you got to walk away. And many women, if they messed up with a producer like that, they do try to get back. You will get the big head text. They will try to get back because they knew what they lost, and the thing they thought was better because their emotion ain't it. And you just gotta let them burn when it comes to stuff like that, TBA.
As men, you have to have leverage. And if you don't have it, if you don't cultivate it, if you don't perfect it in yourself, it's not going to work, man. You got to give yourself leverage. You have to. The complaints that these guys are leveling is because they feel they have no leverage. They feel the woman's got all the leverage and he's got none. And I'm here to break that inadequacy within them. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 904. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Jesse from Florida. Can you hear me?
Jesse from Florida. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding what the point of this channel is. I know you have the other channel, the Black Authority. That's about black empowerment. Do you feel as though those two things are separate? Do you feel as though your message over there is different and separate than your message over here? And how do they connect in your mind?
I created a separate channel because I deal with socio-political issues primarily over there. Pretty much figured that was obvious.
Oh, socio-political issues. So that's just a title. So black empowerment is just a title for you. So in my opinion, second only to white supremacy.
Okay. Folks, I don't really understand why some people think they can successfully troll, because you can't. We don't do that here. If you don't like the program, leave. If you don't leave, be banned. I would tell you that those are your options, but you don't actually have options. Caller from area code 612, you're on live with the business. What's your name? What's your name? Where you're calling from?
This is Veronica.
Hello, Veronica. You had something you wanted to ask me.
I was asked to call up.
I wonder why. You said had something you wanted to ask me.
Yes. You said a woman shouldn't support a man, but she should contribute. And I just wanted to know, how can a woman contribute if she's not supporting?
Okay, a man isn't, what I meant by is a man isn't supposed to be dependent on a woman. So by that, I mean support like he's a child. She ain't supposed to be paying the bills for him or whatnot. She is supposed to contribute. What does that mean? That means that a woman needs to be producing. The man is producer, big P. The woman is producer, little p. But the idea that you're going to be the stay-at-home woman and this, that, and the other, and that works for young women. That doesn't really work for older women. But the idea that your contribution to the relationship is, quote, I look good. A man with any damn sense, if the only thing you require of a woman is that she, quote, looks good, you don't deserve to have your money and you won't be able to keep it for any real length of time. A woman's supposed to contribute more to a relationship than just, quote, looking good. Looking good is a aspect of the fact she was born. It's not supposed to be something that she gets to skate on for the rest of her years. That's the issue. Now, you tell me, what do you believe a woman is supposed to be contributing to a relationship with a man who is a producer? What do you feel a woman's contribution should be?
To be honest, the only examples that I have is women always supporting, always going 50-50 on the bills. It's always a financial support. I have never seen an example where a woman can just kind of just be feminine, just cooking skills, being intelligent, as far as like just being able to just give advice. She's always had to contribute financially. I have never seen in my life a woman that did not have to have.
The things you just named were intangibles, though. Do you see how self-serving that was? When we talk about the men, what you want the men to contribute is tangibles, but you want the women to be able to contribute intangibles that really only help her. When you said, well, I've never saw a woman who could just be feminine, explain to me what you meant by women who couldn't just be feminine. What does that mean?
Just where her money was not needed. She can just be a housewife.
Okay, thank you. So what you really meant was that you ain't seen women who qualified to just sit at home and be taken care of. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There it is. There it is. Yeah. I've never seen women who could just sit home and do nothing and be taken care of.
And she's not a dumb broad. Don't
Okay.
don't get me wrong.
Okay, but
she's not dumb.
Okay, but she's useless. She ain't dumb. No, she's not dumb. She's not dumb. She's just useless.
Well, not exactly useless. When it's time to hold down a fort, she can.
What does that mean?
Let's just say, for example, her husband takes it.
Hold down the fort. What does that mean? She's gonna get a musket. She's gonna get a
What
musket
I
and snipe
mean-
at the. She's gonna get a musket and snipe at the Cherokee. What does hold down the fort mean?
What I mean is that, let's just say, for example, a woman that's been married with a man for over 10 years, and he has been taking care of home and everything. Maybe he ended up taking sick. Well, because she's skillful, she's smart, she got a little hustle about her, she can kind of just pick up where he left off while he gets better. Like I said, I've never... That's what I mean. She kicks in when it's needed.
But
it's
if
not
she's
required.
Okay, but if he's been taking care of everything for, let's say, 15 years, and then for whatever reason that doesn't happen, you mean to tell me she's going to jump back into the workforce after 15 years and she's going to be okay with that?
Well, you know, some of us will probably never go back into the work to 9 to 5 as you're thinking.
Thank you.
But some women they do things online. They sell things. They do eBay. There's a lot of ways where women
No. If she didn't walk in the door doing it, then you're gonna get somebody who's sorely out of practice, and suddenly they're gonna snap to attention after 10 years of being out of circulation. Are you listening to this? Are you really listening to this? Come on now. As a slogan,
I'm hearing you.
As a slogan, that sounds great.
I'm
in
hearing
practice,
you,
how does that
Jason.
work?
I don't think no man is going to lay up with a woman that's going to marry, I'll say, with a woman that's just totally useless. I mean, of course, but like what I mean is that she might have a business, but maybe her money is not funding the household. It can be, I don't know, her money is used for vacation. Her money is used to take care of the children. She doesn't have to take care of the house because he technically takes care of the house and the things in it. Her money funds their retirement, the children, and vacation.
Well, that's
and
contributing.
A lot of white women, Jason, a couple of them white women that I've encountered, they have that deal. I've never seen a black woman have it like that.
You've never, okay, first of all, that is the definition of contributing. Second of all, what do you mean by you never saw a black woman have, quote, that?
I've never met one. I'm not going to say they don't exist. I'll take it back.
Okay, but I'm asking you, you say you've never seen it.
She's always had to work and help pay the bills.
Okay, she's always had to work and help pay the bills. So let me ask you a question. These women who always have to work and take care of the bills, when they started out in their 20s, what was their life like?
To be honest, the women that I've known started that way. They had to provide for themselves.
Okay, stop. Let's choose a specific female. Who is a specific female you're referring to?
I'm referring to an aunt.
Okay, your aunt. When she was 20 years old, was she married?
No.
How many?
She got married.
Stop. Okay, stop. Was she married?
Okay. No.
Did she have kids?
No.
When did she have kids?
I think she might have had her first child at 23.
23 years old. That's kind of young. When did she get married?
She married an older man, probably in the 70s.
Oh, okay, but how old was she when she got married?
I'm not sure, but I know it was in her 20s to an older man.
Okay, so she got pregnant first and got married second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then thinks she gonna be somebody's housewife. when she gave up.
She was still young and attractive.
Okay.
And she wasn't loosing in the streets.
Okay, she was loose in the streets if she having children and ain't married. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear what you just said?
She had the child with the man that she ended up with.
No, she got
it's
pregnant.
Not like she was a baby mom.
No,
she was never
she
a baby
was.
mom.
Yeah,
she was always one of those women that kept the man, and they
she got
married.
pregnant by a dude, and you trying to clean it up ex post facto. She got pregnant by a dude.
Well, I didn't clean it up.
She got pregnant by a dude, and you're trying to retroactively clean it up. Ain't no cleaning it up.
They did it. I'm just telling the story.
Okay, you're telling the story of why she never was able to get that position you talking about. You're describing it while you're describing it while simultaneously claiming that there is no connection between what she did and how she ended up. That's the problem. She got pregnant. She was a baby mama. She got him to marry her later because, as I said at the beginning of the program, most women believe that if they've been wrapping their legs around you long enough, that is a down payment. Sexual access to her over an extended period of time, that obligates you to marry her at some point. She believes that long-term sex with a man is a down payment on a marriage. And that's what your aunt believed. And probably the rest of the females, because individuals of similar social stratas talk the same, associate the same, and act the same. So most of the women probably the same thing. They were figuring sex would be a down payment on the marriage. They went into relationships with no strategy whatsoever other than if I have sex with them long enough, there'll be a ring. They didn't cultivate themselves or grow as individuals. They lived their lives, quite frankly, by whorehouse rules. If the sex is good enough, he'll stay. And they found out the hard way. He may stay, but he ain't gonna do nothing for you. Certainly not gonna give you that dream you was thinking. So, and if you name any of the others, I guarantee it'll be they had weight issues, bastard baby issues, usually what it is, attitude issues. They cashed in their chips on bad bets. That's usually going to be what it's going to be. Then when they relate the story to everybody else, it's about what the man didn't do. When they talk to everyone else, it'll be about what the man didn't do. But the reality is, they were playing a game and it came up snake eyes. Quite frankly. So she's going to have to be a producer. Now, there are certain women who can be stay-at-home wives, but here's the problem. A man who is a producer isn't going to keep a woman around who isn't like him. Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Kanye, Kim K, Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, Jeff Bezos, Mackenzie Bezos. He's going to want somebody he can relate to. Jeff Bezos cheated on his wife with a woman that the company was doing business with, who was part of the business. That was one of the business associates he started cheating on her with. So you see the pattern remains the same. So if you think that in the 21st century you gonna become a stay-at-home wife at 30 years old, not gonna happen. Now, if a guy marries you really young and the both of you are young and he just has the expectation, you might be able to thread that needle. But only because you haven't demonstrated that you've already gone out there and done it. But if you've been working for 5 years, don't expect a man to make you a housewife. You've already been working. Why would he take you out of what you've been doing? You've already been working. Well, if I have the kids, you're going to take maternity leave and maybe 2 years off and you're going back to work. Because that's how he met you. He met you working. How long did your aunt have a job when she was 20 years old?
Yes.
Okay, so you mean that the man who got her pregnant met her working, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so why would
And
you?
he never took her from it.
Right.
I
So
don't think
why,
he. And,
why would
and
you think he
remember,
would?
this was the '70s.
Why would you believe he would? She wasn't some maiden fair who was just some milk maiden who he stole her virginity and got her pregnant, and she was just young and naive about the world. She was working when he met her. Why should he transform her life? She didn't make that a requirement of getting her into bed. Getting her into bed, it didn't require all that transformation to get her there. And you're saying after the fact, oh, he should change her life. She was working when he met her. Why should he desire that to change? I'm asking the question.
Okay. I mean, I see your point, but at the time, like I said, this was like mid-'70s. Men still had that mindset where they wanted the woman to stay at home, and they had everything.
Okay, men still have it
that
today.
deal.
Men still have it today. But there have always been women who could never get married and could never stay home. That ain't new. So let's not sell that idea that all the women...
But she wasn't one of those women. She wasn't in that number.
Right.
She did. I mean, she probably had the kid first, and
right.
Then he got on to marry her, but...
Do you see... But,
and
okay,
I don't. And I think when he passed,
do you
he
see
didn't
why?
even have much money to even leave her.
Okay, do you see why now? Now that you and I have discussed it and discussed the circumstances under which he met her, do you now see why?
I see it.
Okay. Any woman who does what she did, the chances against a man changing that are going to be very high. Why should he? He didn't meet you as some chick sitting at home. He met you working. Why should he expect to do more when that wasn't a requirement when he met you? And that's the way it's always
But if
been.
a man takes a woman on and he loves her, why wouldn't he want to just do it? That's my thing. Why didn't it change? Like, I'm with her. I love her.
Okay, do you hear yourself?
Let me go ahead and just...
Do you hear yourself?
I hear, but...
Do you hear
Jason?
yourself?
Yes, I do.
So you're saying...
okay,
no,
I
so
hear
you're,
you. In
what
the
you're,
spirit that you
okay.
kind of put this thing...
Veronica, stop talking. Do you hear what you are saying? Because what you are saying is criminally unreasonable. You are saying that I met this man the way he was. I got with him under the circumstances that I did. I accepted him into my bed the way he was. I married him the way he was. Now that I have done all those things, I want him to change into somebody different. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear that?
I hear it.
You married him.
I hear it. Basically, yes. She didn't require it beforehand.
Okay, it's not about doing requirement. That was good enough when you met him. How dare you meet this man and then tell him 5 years later he needs to change into somebody different? Who the hell will a woman think she is to say that to a man? You need to become somebody different. But you married him for what he was. And then gonna tell him, okay, you need to transform. No, if he wasn't what you wanted when you met him, then he ain't supposed to get in when you met him. That's crazy talk. That I met you this way, I have accepted you into my bed in marriage. I went to the altar saying I'm making a lifelong commitment to this man. And then as soon as I get there, okay, this ain't good enough. You need to change. Then y'all wonder why dudes keep side chicks. No, y'all don't actually wonder. You do know. When you're talking to somebody crazy like that, yeah, he needs to keep a side chick as an insurance policy against that type of irrational talk. Because you wouldn't want this man to sit up here and marry you as a size 16 You don't know how to cook. You don't know how to clean. You said you don't want children. And then 5 years after he marries you, he tells you you need to be a side 8 who knows how to cook and clean and have 4 kids. What the hell, nigga? You married me like this. You married me looking like Lizzo. How you gonna marry me and then say I need to change everything I am? You married me because you said I was fine the way I am. Do you see the problem with that? She said he was fine the way he was. Why on earth would he need to change? I'm asking.
I think you won your argument.
Ladies, you all need to get with a man and y'all need to have a firm agenda of what it is you want. And then you need to make sure that you qualify for that, because I didn't even get into whether or not she qualified for it. Let's just assume that she did. You all need to make sure.
She was attractive.
Okay, but clearly she didn't. Clearly she didn't have an agenda, didn't know what she wanted. Clearly she didn't. Because if, or you're projecting, maybe you think she should deserve more than she got, or should have gotten. Okay, fine. But the bottom line is, even if she agreed with you, she didn't insist on that walking in the door. And the problem is, too many women believe that they can make a permanent, they think they're making temporary decisions, when in reality they're making permanent ones. That was a permanent decision. To accept him the way he was. She might have thought it was temporary, and what you just articulated, is a temporary decision. After we get married, I'll fix him up. Nope. You're making a permanent decision now. Well, I didn't think I was. You're going to get punished just the same. Don't play stupid.
Jason, I'm trying not to look at I tried to flip the phone over, but I keep seeing the comments. And one of the things they're saying is that I'm using looks as a qualifier.
Okay, first of
all they've been saying in the chat.
First of all, it's disrespectful to talk to somebody on the phone with your attention split.
All right, I flipped the phone over again.
Because if you were sitting in front of me in person in a restaurant looking at your phone, you about to find out how to pay a bill tonight. Just thought I'd put that out there. If that was what she really wanted, it'd be different. She got what she wanted. She just didn't get what she needed. That's the problem we tend to run into. Too many women meet a guy thinking that it's all a game. I'm going to get a baby. It's a game. Then she starts taking a look at the years wasting away and realizes, this ain't no game. No. And it never was. You better play to win. Your 20s are your most valuable time as a woman. You better play to win. You get with some dude under ridiculous notions. He's older. I want to be with an older dude because I want to floss in front of my young high school friends. Okay. You're playing stupid games. You about to win a hell of a stupid prize. Not being mean, just being factual. Ladies, this is your life. You better not play to play. You better play to win. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 347. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, this is John calling from New York.
Okay, John from New York. If you're on speaker, take it off.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. What is on your mind?
Yes. I wanted to ask 5 questions.
5 questions. Let's make it. Let's make it
yeah.
2. Let's make it 2 questions.
Okay, no problem. So like, you know how the MGTOWs always talk about signs of a woman hitting the wall. Like, what would your views be on, like, her going to hit the walls, or like what are key like elements of seeing the signs of her hitting the wall?
Okay. Well, first of all, let me ask here, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. You're 30 years old, and about what's your income?
My income is about $60,000 a year.
Okay. And you live in New York. Which borough?
Brooklyn.
Okay. There is no woman who has a wall for you. So my answer to your question is there are no walls. I could describe what it is, but none of them apply to you. So in your case, what would a woman who hits the wall look like? I suppose Cicely Tyson. I think, in your case, Cicely Tyson has probably hit the wall in your case. Because here's the issue. When people use the term hit the wall, do you actually even know what that term means?
Basically, somewhat of like she's about to go into like her, like the ages of like maybe 30 and start getting overweight, or
for those of you who don't know,
fading.
For those of you who don't know, hit the wall is a term from sports, I believe specifically baseball, and essentially it means the point at which a player is not going to get any better and their career is basically going to go down from there. Like in the case of Michael Jordan, he got 7 championships and whatnot, and then after that, he couldn't do nothing right. Brett Favre, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. So when we refer to hitting the wall, that means that their career is peaked, and from here it's all downhill, basically. Here's the problem. In order to be able to evaluate if someone's hit the wall, it depends on the team doing the evaluation. Because that's the next thing. If you're not qualified to do the evaluation, it's going to be a problem. So, in your case, for a woman to hit the wall, because here's the real thing. It also depends on your requirements. Most guys are going to say the requirements is the way she looks. Well, yeah. Typically speaking, hitting the wall is referring to a woman's sexual attractiveness, which generally peaks in their mid-20s. But there's going to be there are women who, when they hit the wall, they collapse. And then there are women who it's a gradual decline through their 30s. Now, most women want to believe they're in that second category. Most are not. But it depends on which one you are. But that's going to depend on the number of offers and the number of options that a woman has. Now, if she's still flush with serious options going into her 30s, she's going to be able to cruise for a little bit. If she has collapsed and the phone has stopped ringing, that's going to be a little different. But here's the problem. The problem is we have guys out here who are not in a position to reward a woman who has not hit the wall. So let me ask you, now that we have explained what hitting the wall is, do you understand what a woman is who has not hit the wall?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that you qualify for a woman who has not hit the wall?
From what I accomplished, I would say about maybe 60%. I could go for like 60.
I don't know what that means.
Confident, like 60%. Yeah, 65. I'm confident like 65% of the way. Yeah.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I got a house that's paid off. I have about 70,000 saved up. It's not. I don't have the best income, but it's pretty decent.
Did you say you live in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
You have a house in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
A house.
Yeah.
And you're 30 years old.
Yeah.
You have a house in Brooklyn that you have purchased by the age
let me clear it up.
By the age of 30.
Yeah. Yeah. It was passed down to me, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Well.
Yeah, I know it's expensive over here.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because when you originally phrased it, you didn't say I inherited a house. You said I bought one. So, all right.
Oh no, like my parents gave it to me, like to finish paying it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your parents gave it to you to finish paying it off.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so now
because they couldn't finish.
Now
they got older.
Now your explanation has migrated from I bought a house to I inherited a house to, well, they gave it to me to buy it off.
No, to finish paying it off.
Yeah, well, to buy it off, sir.
Basically.
They gave you the house so you can buy them out. Where are your parents living at now? Since you got their house.
Florida.
They moved to Florida.
Yeah.
You're 30 years old in Brooklyn. Your parents have moved to Florida and left you the house to pay off. How long have they had that house?
Yeah.
How long did they have that house?
They had it for like 15 years. 15 years?
They had it for 15 years. And how long have you had it now?
Yeah. I would have to say about 4.
Okay. 2001. Now you say that they've had the house. Have they had the house 15 years altogether? When did they buy it?
No. Yeah, altogether.
When did they buy it?
I think they bought it in 2000. I would say like 2000 and around 2005, I think.
Okay. So in other words, they've had the house has been in your family for 15 years altogether. They have had it. They had it for 10 allegedly, and you've had it for 5.
Yeah.
Okay. The cost of a house in Brooklyn, even in 2005 or 6, would be tremendous. I should know. I did the documentary about gentrification. Interesting.
Yeah, in Brooklyn, the lowest you'll find is about like 450,000.
Okay, no, sir. You can't even get a house for that in the Bronx right now. You can't get a house for that in the Bronx right now. No, you better go talk to Kathleen Willie. Not Kathleen Willie. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, she was in my movie, Race War. I'm not Race War, Gentrified. Okay. I better not have my people messed up about that. I haven't talked to her in a few years. But you better talk to Miss Willie about that, sir.
Okay.
It'd be different if I didn't know the prices and stuff. I do. So I'm not going to go over that too long here, okay?
Yeah.
I won't go over that too long. But what I will say is, certainly with that type of, in that type of circumstance, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. In your case, I would be a little.
Can I ask you?
Women who have hit the wall. Here's my real question for you, because I got a question. I'll let you ask your next question here. What exactly is your goal in knowing, quote, if women have hit the wall? What exactly is you want to know that so you can do what with that knowledge?
Or to watch out, basically. Like, because I know a lot of time when a lot of women like fall off, they tend to look for a guy that they can manipulate, or find a guy who will just like simply just give out their money towards them, and they don't bring nothing of value to a relationship.
Okay. What do you believe you bring of value to a relationship?
I'm financially stable, got a house that's paid off for.
Okay, you keep saying that. You just did it again. And by the way, Miss Willie Suggs, I'm sorry for your name slipping my memory to begin with there. Had a moment to think about it. Miss Willie Catherine Suggs. #1 realtor in Harlem. She knows everything about everything in New York, which is why I'm gamed up on it. I've been in New York many times, but gamed on it. Now, you just said it again that you got a house that's paid off. You just said it again.
Yeah.
So which is it? You're paying it off, or it's paid off?
Okay, because it's paid off.
It's paid off. You just said a few moments ago that you're still making. You just said a few moments ago you're still making. You get your parents.
No.
It's
paid off.
Okay.
No, it's paid off.
Sir?
Paid off completely.
Okay. Sir, what I'm going to tell you is right now, worry less about women hitting the wall. Worry much more about your situation. Much more.
Okay.
That's where you need to go. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight.
Okay.
If this nigga don't stop lying on my damn phone as if I don't know what's going on, and if I asked those questions and was able to immediately determine that this ain't real, this is somebody who's lying to chicks and telling them his situation is better than it is.
Me?
And yes, I'm talking. Oh, you're still on the line. Well,
Dude,
yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah, I'm talking about you and to you. But yes, that's the thing up there. They lying to these chicks, and then.
Oh, Jason, why would I need to lie, Jason?
Okay, sir, you just.
Why would I need to lie, Jason?
You need to lie because you don't have nothing else to offer them. That's why dudes lie when there's nothing else
Brooklyn.
to offer.
Listen, a lot of people
lie in Brooklyn. Yes, a lot of people lie.
There's a lot of people in Brooklyn who can't even afford an apartment, to be honest.
Okay, you're probably one of them. What I do know right now is your story.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
your
if my
story
parents
has changed
I'm
five times.
No, because I'm keeping it real. If I didn't have my parents, I don't think like I would have been in a better situation than I am.
Sir,
I'm just saying that, like,
if
it
you
is an
are
advantage
being
that
this
they gave.
blatantly dishonest with me, then I know what you're doing with women. Because how you do one thing is how you do all things. So if you're being this blatantly phony with me, then I know you doing this with the chicks. This ain't even something we gotta discuss. You're doing this with me, so I know what you're doing with them. I know what you're doing. And what I'm saying is worry far less about that. Because that's cornball, man. That's corny as hell and cornball. It's the year 2020. Be straight up and real about it.
Come on.
Get your situation straight so you ain't got to do all this
childish
stuff.
Dude, you can give me an email address and I can send it to you.
Dude, I'm not going to give you my email address so you can send me them Nigerian money scam emails. I'm not doing that. Bruh, get your act together,
I'm not
man.
trying
You're 30 years
to scam,
old.
man. I'm serious,
Brother, you're
man.
30
I'm
years
serious,
old.
Jason.
Get your act together. You're 30 years old. Get your act together. And start right now. Hang up the phone and get started. No more questions.
All right, man. See you,
Done.
Jason.
Fellas, when is a woman hit the wall? Dude, every woman has hit the wall. Where you're concerned, ain't no walls. Where you're concerned, there are no walls. Ain't nothing but wide open spaces where you're concerned, my dude. Beggars can't be choosers. Caller from area code 717. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Sound like you got the
This
corona.
Archie. Nigga, no. This is Archie from Oberlin, PA.
Have
Hello?
I talked to you
Jason?
before?
No, you haven't.
Okay, because I seem to remember. Did you say you're from Pennsylvania?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I remember another chick who was from Oakland, but we'll discuss that another time. And you said your name is Archie?
Archie? No, Uncle. I said Archie.
Archie. Okay. And what is on your
Yeah.
mind?
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you, well, it is me. I was about to say for a friend, but it's for me. I wanted to ask you if a friend, well, I keep wanting to say a friend because I want to lie, but however, if you was in a relationship and you took a car from someone and it was a gift and the person you was in a relationship felt some type of way about it and like accused you of sleeping with the person to get the vehicle, and the person already verified and you already dealt with this person and you already did business and all of that way before you even got in a relationship with the person you was in a relationship with and all of that, like, what was the big deal?
Okay.
Of taking the car.
Are you saying that you have accepted a car as a gift from another man other than the one you're in a relationship with?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let's try this a different way.
He owed it to me.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Let's try this a different way. Do men, you said he owed it to you. Was there a court that required that?
No, like we do business. Like he worked on other cars of mine and stuff like that. And one of the cars he put a motor in, like it was still tapping. And then however the other car that he had gave me, like because he couldn't get me another motor for the car, the other car that he gave me, I didn't like that one. So basically I had to keep that car until after I had my baby, and then he gave me another car.
Okay. So let me find out here. How many kids do you have?
That's irrelevant.
Yes. No, it's not irrelevant. I don't ask irrelevant questions. If you don't want to answer, get off the phone.
I have 4 boys.
Okay. How old is your oldest child?
He just turned 17.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay. So you were 22 years old or 23, and you've got 4.
Yep.
You got 4 kids. Is the gentleman that you're in a relationship with, is he the father of any of them?
Yes, he's the father of my last child.
Okay, but not the previous 3.
No.
Okay, and then you wonder.
Their father.
And then you wonder why it is that he is suspicious of your sexual habits. Then you're wondering why it is that he would suspect that you might sleep with a dude to get your tire changed.
Nigga, no, I don't have to. I know how to change my own tire.
Okay, but clearly
do my own
you didn't know how to change a motor, heifer. You clearly didn't know how to swap out a motor. And so apparently the dude you with, you strike him as the kind of broad who would bend over if she needed to get her alternator changed out. That's not me talking. That's him.
I don't need to do that.
Clearly, you strike him as that kind of. Clearly, you strike him as that kind of broad.
I felt like that. I felt like that. I felt like that too.
Clearly, you strike him as that kind of broad.
I felt like he was thinking that too.
Okay. Why?
Because of what my dad said.
Okay. Is he the first man to suspect you in that way?
No.
Okay. So what does that tell you if more than one man has said, yo, draws is for the streets? What does that tell you?
What are you? No, I'm not saying it like that. No.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You misunderstood.
Oh, no, I didn't. No,
No.
I didn't. You misunderstood your life before
I
you
know
called
I said
in.
no.
No,
I know
you
I
misunderstood
said no.
your life before
Look,
you
Uncle.
called in. I have illuminated where you are at in the world. So, no, ma'am. You were confused before you called in. You're finally straight now.
Really?
Dudes know you is for the streets, including the mechanic. So I'm not saying you slept with him.
Nigga,
I'm not
the
saying you
mechanic-
slept with him.
No, the
I'm
mechanic,
saying that you've done
it
enough
wasn't like
grimy
that.
stuff to make
It wasn't
people
like
suspicious.
that at all.
I didn't
At
say
all.
I didn't say you slept
And
with
it
the
wasn't
mechanic.
like for the street.
Ma'am, don't talk over me. I did not say that you slept with the mechanic. I said that you have lived your life apparently in
I
such
know
a
you
way that
didn't.
all the men who deal with you
I shouldn't have
suspect
said
that
no.
you would.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. You're trying to get me to get aroused, but I'm not. Because I
Ma'am,
want to answer.
The men who know
I want to
you,
know why he got missed.
the
Like,
men
why
who
was-
know
why
you
did he get
suspect
missed?
you would. The men who actually know you keep suspecting you would do it.
First of all, it was only just my two babies dead.
It's just the two
That's
baby
it.
dads. All right. Black
Yeah,
black women.
That's what I have.
Black women as a group, by the way, do y'all understand how freaking embarrassing it is for we as black men
To have a baby dead.
to have so many of y'all running around here and all of y'all been run through and too many of you have been run through and baby mamas and stuff is synonymous with black
You
women.
probably got
Do
a baby
y'all
that you
understand
don't
how
claim.
embarrassing that is
I'm
for
pretty
black
sure you
men
do.
as a group?
Or you probably just can't produce. But that's okay.
Baby, you on my phone calling
I
from
served my
Philadelphia about a damn car you couldn't get a motor replaced in. I ain't had car issues
Nigga,
since
I
Clinton was president.
I replaced the motor.
Yeah, the real question is how did
I
you
was
get it
just
replaced?
asking you, should I feel some type of way that somebody honored me by doing right by me?
You didn't replace.
That's all I'm
you
saying.
didn't replace the
and you
motor.
start trying to come at me because
Somebody
I
else
got
did.
babies dead and shit.
And now you're illustrating why the men treat you the way they do.
Treat me like what?
Like a hoe.
Really? So now I'm a hoe?
You certainly don't carry yourself like a lady. So if the shoe fits, get a matching
Why?
purse.
Because I start using profanity?
Wow, because you don't think that's an issue.
Because I start using profanity?
If the shoe fits,
You
get
want
a
me to be
matching
timid
purse.
towards you? You want me to be timid towards you?
No, you can just
You
be
want me to bow down
no,
to you?
no, just be what you are. Be the dog that you are. Just be the low down, dirty mutt you are.
Nigga, you a dog. Nigga, you a dog.
I don't have to sleep with nobody
You
to
a
get my
dog, you
engine
coon.
fixed.
I don't gotta sleep with nobody either, nigga.
Clearly your man thinks you did. Where there's smoke, there's hose. Clearly your man thinks you did. Clearly he suspects it.
Really?
Just saying. Don't get mad at me.
Really?
You're the one who called me up.
Really?
Don't get mad at
but
me.
See, he's only thinking that because of the situation I told him with my other baby's dad. He's only thinking that way because of that.
Okay, you got too many
And
niggas
that
who've been
was
able to
and
sleep
that was
with
my right hand that gave me a car.
people. If a
And that
woman,
was my right hand that gave me a car. And it was the same exact car that I had.
For every man who is able to get a woman pregnant, there were 8 that she slept with who didn't get her pregnant. And that's hoe math. So if she got 4 kids,
Nigga, I know
every
my body
pregnancy,
count.
there's 8
I know
dudes,
my body count.
There's 8 dudes who didn't
and you
get
can
her
check
pregnant.
the STD roster about me, motherfucker, and you won't see my name.
I bet you have your own folder at the Department of Health.
Nigga, no.
I bet you have your own
wish.
drawer, like Bart Simpson.
I bet
you have
do.
your own
That's
drawer
why you don't
in the
show your
filing
thing.
cabinet.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
Dear, I have explained to you why you are in life where you are. And that's it.
And I explained to you why you're where you're at.
You're on my phone. Where am I at?
On your phone.
Yes, you're on my phone. With your Obama phone. Where am I at? Pennsylvania, you got to hold that L. Philly, you got to hold that L. That's all I can say. Philadelphia has got to hold that L. I can't take that back. Philly got to hold that L. Philadelphia, you got to hold that L. Because y'all got a bunch of worn out, ugly broads like that wearing denim overalls, still wearing denim overalls and Timberlands. Like MC Light from the Roughneck video. Philadelphia got to hold that L. Dirty broads out here sleeping with dudes to get their cars fixed on. Because you know that's what it was, right? If you weren't the type of chick who sleeps with dudes to get your car fixed on, why would this man suspect you were sleeping with a dude to get your car fixed on? If you're not that type of female. We all know him. We've all met him. These chicks who went off and bought a car, she don't know how to buy motor oil. She doesn't know the difference between motor oil and cooking oil. But she got a car. Remember I had that mechanic who called in a few months ago? Remember him? Hell, I should have asked her if she knew him. Remember that mechanic who called in a few months ago and was talking about he was sleeping with all them women because he was working on their cars? He was picking her up and taking the kids to school. Remember him? Remember that cat? Remember that guy called in? Yeah, man, I've been sleeping with this woman here and her husband. I got by fixing on the car. Remember him? Remember that dude? I'm going to take one more phone call here. Let me get caller from area code 832. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller from 832, last try, you're on live. Okay, caller from 832 has been abducted. Caller from area code 763, you're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi. My name is Nicole. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. I would like to have some questions about your Facebook post about you saying women with big eyes are crazy.
Okay, baby, you sound like you're on a CPAP machine, or are you just really excited to be on the phone? Is everything okay?
Yes.
All right. Anyway, I don't understand what the question is. Can you get to the point?
Okay, so
Okay, she has had an out-of-body experience, apparently. Not really sure exactly what is going on there, but ladies and gentlemen, this is your brain on drugs. Come on now, you know it's true. There's some of you females been out there, you know you've been doing something strange for some change or to get your oil changed. You didn't know what the hell to do. You heard a knocking coming from your engine. You didn't know what to do. Your alignment needed to be done. You wasn't sure where to go. She's on drugs. Don't worry about it. Whole lot of things for you all to learn here tonight. I know y'all are going to be going over this. All the other folk who've been listening to me all this time, I know you're going to be going over it too. You should be. You should be. There's going to be a lot for you to learn. Going to be a lot for you to pick up on. So for those of you who have been, just go ahead and keep learning. Keep learning. It'll be some things for you to get out of it. In the meantime, here we're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's program. We've been discussing what women can't live without. There's a whole lot of lessons that can be learned from this. You've heard the things that make us different. When we come back tomorrow night, I'm going to be discussing some of these other people in depth so that you all can get things straight about what's really going on and how to really deal with it. But we're going to deal with them. We're going to deal with it and get that straightened out. We're going to get it straightened out for you. If you are new here to the business, I definitely want to welcome you here. We do this intermittently. Going to try to get a little bit better about that, but we do this intermittently, but I definitely want you to go ahead and be ready to join us. Wrong one there. Let's go ahead and get you the business up here. I want you to go ahead and join us. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Be on top of everything, because this is the place where you're going to learn about it. The stuff that other people are afraid to tell you, this is where you will know. We're going to be back here tomorrow night as I take you even deeper into it. Get ready to catch some feelings. That's all I'm going to say. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.